immediately start. All right. So I'm trying to share my screen. Okay. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
All right. So we are going to start immediately, guys. We have close to 50 people on the call. And before we start, I would like to know where you are joining us from. Just type in the chat box, Chukwemeka, Nigeria, Olawale, Canada, depending on where you are. Just type your name and type the location of the place you are joining us from, so that we can be able to, relate with you easily and know the necessary things that we need to talk regarding your own locations. All right. So I would like to see us drop our names and where we are joining from. Okay, I can see a couple of charts. I can see John, Nigeria. I can see Patience, Nigeria. Amazing. Oyin Loye, Nigeria. Nigeria is winning today. Fantastic. 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 Prince, Ghana. Ayodele, Nigeria. Isaac, Nigeria. Folake, Nigeria. Amazing. South Africa. Lagos, Nigeria. Daniel, Nigeria. So we have a couple of Nigerian people on the call. We have London, we have Ghana, we have South Africa. So basically, this is to tell you that today you are going to be interacting with global people in Europe, people across everywhere. Okay. So I also like to understand if today is the first time you are joining our session, so that we'll tailor it down to a beginner stage, right? So if today is the first time you are joining our session, just type a 1 in the chat box, all right? If today is not the first time, you can drop a 2. Okay, so okay, I can see a couple of 1. Amazing. So we have a lot of people that today is the first time. That Mike, that's a 2. Amazing one. That's a repeat person there. All right. So have a couple of 1 on the call, which means we have people that today is the first time they are joining us, right? So we are going to, as much as possible, tailor this session down and make it a beginner-friendly session, so that you can be able to understand what we are talking about today, right? And the topic that myself and Olawale will be talking on today is basically tech skills that you can learn to secure remote jobs. Over the years, we've all heard that remote jobs is the new thing to do, right? We are in Nigeria, we work for companies in UK, work for companies in Canada, you can work for companies in US, and this is, I believe, is the dream of most people these days, right? Everybody wants to be in the comfort of their home and earn in FX, and that's what that's actually the great way to go these days, right? And that's why we've tailored this course down for you to understand the tech skills that you can learn to secure these remote jobs. All right. So we're going to start immediately. We are Tenalytics, right? Tenalytics is an edtech company that helps Africa and the people of Black community to enter into the tech ecosystem, right? We try as much as possible to lower the tech entry barrier and make sure that we bring it to your own level, so that you can be able to join the tech ecosystem. Our services range over a couple of data courses. That's data analytics, business analysis, cyber security, HR analytics, data science, data engineering, Scrum, and soon to come AI engineering, right? And we play very, very, very strongly in this data ecosystem, because we enable clients to achieve their data-driven goals and make data-driven decisions. We also help the people of the Black community to transition easily into the tech ecosystem, right? And we have facilitators that come to our edtech from across amazing, reputable organizations like Amazon, like Google, like Coca-Cola. And we also have our students work in these amazing places. Our courses are somewhat structured in a way that it makes it beginner friendly. Whether you have on a scale of 10, a knowledge that is just 0, or on a minus, we are going to bring you into 0 and gradually grow you from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, and get you to that number 10, right? So this is what we've done over the years, and we've helped the people of Black community to lower the entry barrier into tech, right? And that's what we are here to do for you today also, so that you get to understand all that you need to know. And of course, we have our founders on the screen. That's Adeza Suleiman and Efemena Ipo. Adeza Suleiman had this vision initially because when he joined the tech ecosystem and he needed videos, when you go online, things that you get to see are basically videos that are made by Indians, basically Indians, right? And even in your own immediate environment, you can see people that easily understand where you are coming from, that you can easily relate with. So that's how Tenalytics came about. Adeza studied industrial chemistry, right? And from industrial chemistry, he started his career as a management consultant before he transitioned into the tech ecosystem. So if you're on the call and you're wondering, oh, I don't have a tech background, oh, I don't have any STEM experience, can I do this? Be rest assured that you can. Our two founders actually didn't do any tech-related courses. Adeza studied industrial chemistry, Efemena studied economics, but today they are global known data consultants, right? Adeza had close to above a decade experience in data analytics, data science consultant in UK, US, and he worked in a couple of places and has experience that cuts across sports, professional services, edtech, energy, and the automobile sector. While Efemena, on the other hand, have also worked above a decade experience in sectors like data engineering, power platform development, data science, and he works as a data science contractor in UK and US. So now you have the background of who our founders are, how they were able to transition from industrial chemistry and economics into the tech ecosystem. So these things are not rocket science. We have people that have done it in the past, and you are going to be, your own story is not going to be different. Okay, for tonight, you already see me on the screen. I'm Chuku Emeka Epa, the COO for Tenalytics, and myself, I have close to a decade experience in data analytics, right? I've worked in the banking sector, in the capital market sector, in the hospitality business, and I've helped companies to stay compliant relating to their data protection activities, right? And with me on the call today is Olawale. Olawale is our CMSO. Olawale, I'll allow you to introduce yourself fully, okay? You have the floor, Olawale.
All right, thank you very much, Kemeka. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to have you here. It's a pleasure doing this with you. I'm Olawale Adesina. I'm the CMSO at Tenalytics. That's the Chief Marketing and Strategy Officer. I have over 10 years of experience in the tech ecosystem. I started with digital marketing, but then 2 years ago, I transitioned into data analytics also, knowing how important data is in the world now and in terms of any career path. So I'm basically now a marketing data analyst, and I've consulted for companies working remotely for brands in France, Turkey, UK, US, Germany, Kenya, and recently in Ghana. I'm a certified professional, worked across many industries, worked with government, NGOs, travel and tourism, and now I'm doing my work with EdTech at Tenalytics. Thank you very much, Kemeka.
Fantastic, Olawale. So you guys can easily see that almost all of us that are tilted towards analytics didn't have an initial tech background, right? I started my career in the banking sector as a control officer, right? But today, I am comfortably a data analyst that have a lot of experience in the banking sector, capital markets, and in the hospitality business. So we are going to immediately continue. Olawale, please confirm if my network is still strong.
Yes, I think it's perfect here. But I can't see you now.
All right, all right. Can you see me now?
Yes, clear.
All right. So moving on, I don't know whether we are still on the call. We have close to 100 people on the call at the moment. And today, all we have for you is for you to understand the tech skills that you need to know for you to be able to land remote jobs. So firstly, I'm going to be taking you on where the opportunities lie in tech, right? I'm going to walk us through where the opportunities lie in tech and how the demand for tech roles are presently global wise, right? And the unbelievable shortages that currently exist in all these places. And of course, I'm also going to walk you through why you struggle for to land job these days. Because the truth is that most of us have trivialized job applications. We are no more applying for jobs for the actual fact of practically applying to this job to get them. We are just trivialized this. Okay, once we see jobs online, we are just applying. Is apply. Today, we are going to also walk you how you can be able to land these remote jobs as well. And Olawale will come up to walk us through how to get into all these in-demand tech roles, and also the career paths that we have to consider for us to be able to transition into the tech ecosystem. Then, of course, we are going to walk you through our upcoming cohort that is starting on April 6th, 2024, and the success stories that you need to know. And of course, we have an amazing, amazing discount but for you by virtue of being on this call. Okay, just stay put and work with us so that we can move you from the level of the unknown to the level of the known. Okay, so first, basically, I want to ask us an important question, a very important question that I always ask everyone, right? Why have you chosen a career in the tech ecosystem? Or why do you want to transition into this tech ecosystem? So I need an answer. This is not a rhetorical question. In the chat box, I want you to tell me why you want to transition to get a job in the tech ecosystem. Why do you want to leave your current place to transition into this? Okay, so I want to see our comments. Oh, George says that he wants to japa with his own skills. Amazing, 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 right? So that's really a, oh, wow, for like I said, relocation as well. So have a couple of people on the call that the main reason for wanting this is for them to, Big Mark said Canada. Okay, maybe that's introduction. All right, so I want to hear from us. Why do we want to transition into the tech career, right? Why do you want to become a tech person? So I want to hear another source of income from Oluwakemi, higher pay and more flexibility from Olayemi. Amazing. I have 91 people on this call, and I've just seen like close to 20 responses. Please, I want to see all your response so that, trust me, this session is not something we prepped for, right? Is the way you are responding to us, that's what's going to lead us to how this conversation is going to go. So please just make it as interactive as possible so that we know how to tailor this down to meet your own need. Okay. So we have Olayemi said higher pay. We have Simon said financial stability. Isaac said because it's the next generation trend. Amazing. Chigozie, that's an amazing way to write Chigozie. I've not seen that before. Chigozie said it's more flexible. And Oluwadamilale, financial stability. I want to change my financial life. Flexibility because it's a high-paying skill. Personal interest in tech and finance. Amazing. My course of study relates with I did more professional in the software action, which is around tech. Okay. Flexibility and financial freedom, trend and financial stability. Okay, amazing. I've seen a couple of responses, and that's fantastic. That's a fantastic. The truth is that some of these things that we are dropping on the chat box, they are what we call your motivating factors, right? So that there is this I can't remember the economists that propounded it, that you have a hierarchy of needs, right? So the way we have needs that are structured in a way that you feel your personal needs, you have your social need, that's how all of us right here on the call, some of us have already satisfied their relocation need, right? So right now they might need, their reason for wanting to be in tech might be because they want to get a sponsored job over there, right? Some might be for us to be able to relocate, but we are all on the right path, right? And this is because there is an increasingly attractive career for everybody in tech, right? Whether you did a STEM course or whether you did computer science, for the fact that you are trying to transition into the tech ecosystem, it is a nice motivator to have. So we are going to look at a couple of things that have made people in the past to choose, or things that you can hold on to for you to be able to say, because of this, that is why I'm trying to transition, right? Because I want a great work-life balance and flexibility. This is why I want to transition into tech. So that when the going gets tough, you know things that you are going to hold on to, right? In the chat box, a couple of people wrote, oh, for the flexibility, because I want to try Japa, because I want to travel, I want to be able to earn in FX. that great work-life balance and flexibility starts from today, right? It starts from today. So if your reason for choosing to transition into tech is because of the great work-life balance and flexibility, that is an amazing motivator to have. Okay. And we also have, okay, Folake, I'm going to try to close your video so that everyone can concentrate. Hi, Folake. Priscilla, are you on the call? All right, fantastic. So other reasons why people want to transition is also because of the growing job opportunities that currently lies in tech. Someone in chat box mentioned something like the trend, right? Because of the trend, the person wants to transition. And that is a nice motivator to also have, right? Because IT jobs, as of last year, accounted for 25.55 share of global tech industry hiring as at November of last year. That means there is increasing demand for all roles that are in um, information technology ecosystem, right? And that is a strong reason jobs that will not go out of vogue, which means you need to transition into the tech ecosystem, right? And other reason might be because okay, basically, you don't have a tech-related jobs, and you also want to transition. Now, there is a common misconception that people think that, okay, you need to have a degree in computer science for you to work in tech. that is a great misconception to have, right? People like Adeza, our founder, and FMNA, they didn't have any computer science related degree. In fact, they studied industrial chemistry and economics, but they were able to transition from all those management consultant roles into becoming a data scientist consultant in UK and US and Canada, and also a data analyst expert, right? So if your own reason is because you didn't study tech and you still want to be able to transition, that is very, very valid. In fact, I think I will have a Scrum Master in our company that also, I think she studied public administration, but today she functions fully as a Scrum Master. All right, Olawale, please confirm if you can still hear me. Hi, Olawale.
Yes, I can hear you, Chukwemeka.
Okay, I got scared that my network is somewhat unstable, so I needed to be sure. All right,
Yeah.
so moving on, we also have the main reason why people. I don't think I saw salary and benefits in the chat box, right? Over our sessions, this exact one seems to have been the number one reason why people want to transition. And I'm not going to kid you. I transitioned because of the money, right? I'm sure Lawali transitioned because of the money too, because we want to better our lives, right? And if that is the reason why you also want to transition, it is 100% valid, right? And this is because it's simple economics, right? Because of the increasing trend in the birth of technology companies, in the birth of companies, there is constant need for people with tech skills to be in these companies, right? And once demand is high, but supply is low, there's one single thing that will happen: price will go up, right? And that's simply what is happening with respect to the fantastic salary and benefits, right? Because there is increasing need for tech people, but there is no shortage of tech people to fill all those vacancies. Those available guys that have those skills, their own requirements and price automatically go up, right? So and this is something that will continuously be in vogue because all companies have need for people in the data ecosystem, for people in this aspect of technology, right? So there will always be that demand. So you don't have to feel okay. Would there be saturation? Then the demand will drop and then price will drop. No, for the surprise there is growth. All companies will definitely have need for people like you and I. So if your own motivator for wanting to transition into the tech ecosystem is because of fantastic salary and benefits, you are in the same shoe with me. Welcome on board, because this is really an amazing motivator to have. There's a feeling that, okay, as the month is drawing near, or maybe weekly, you are doing consulting job, you are going to get all those fat, fantastic salaries. And then the last one, I think somebody mentioned something regarding passion, right? So if your own reason for wanting to transition is because you have passion for being at the heart of innovation, right? You want to be able to stand and say, yes, I was part of the team that built this product. Yes, I was part of the people that made this creation to come to life. That is also an amazing reason to transition into the tech ecosystem. It means that you can comfortably put your chest in your family meeting and say, oh, do you guys know that is my product that you are using? So if that is part of the reason why you want to transition, it is 100% valid and you are on the right track. So why I brought up all these reasons why you want to transition, reasons why you have chosen a career in tech is so that you and I, we know our own motivators, right? Because if you know your motivating factor, that is what is going to keep you going even when the journey gets tough. When you know, okay, at the end of this journey, I'm going to have a great work-life balance. At the end of this journey, I'm going to be in the job that is always in growing demand, right? At the end of this journey, I'll have a fantastic salary. Or at the end of this journey, I will be at the heart of innovation. So because of all this, just have it as your own personal motivator that is going to keep you going when the journey gets tough. So my colleague Lydia and Imwa, they've dropped the attendance sheet in the chat box. So please, if you want this slide and if you want the recording of this session also, please do well to fill the attendance sheet that they have dropped, okay? So that at the end of the session, we can send the slide to you and also send the recording of the session to you. All right, so moving on, I want to quickly touch on where are the opportunities in tech, right? We all want to have a tech skill that will be able to land us remote jobs. But the first thing that we need to know is where exactly do these opportunities lie, right? And it's when we understand where the opportunities in tech are, that's when we can comfortably be with the group of the growing trend. So we have this report on our screen. That's the World Economic Forum report that propounded the jobs that are going to grow. So these are jobs that are going to be in constant demand for the next 10 years and upward, right? And then that's the jobs on the left-hand side. If you look at your right-hand side, you are also going to see jobs that are going to decline, right? So left-hand side will have jobs that are going to grow. Right-hand side will have jobs that are going to decline. And you can still get all this will be shared with everyone. So far as you fill the attendance sheet, you'll get the slide and you get the recording. Okay. So I'm talking on the jobs that are going to grow. The number one job here that World Economic Forum reports propounded that are going to grow is AI and machine learning specialists. AI and machine learning specialists. Now, we all know why these AI and machine learning specialists are going to be in high demand. We are in the current trend of AI, the OpenAI, the ChatGPT, the Bard family, the Grok of Twitter. So there is constant increase in the requirements for AI and machine learning specialists. And that is why it is the number one job that is going to be in high demand, right? And I think last year, the best performing stock is NVIDIA, right? And why NVIDIA was the best performing stock for 2023 was because they build the GPUs that the likes of ChatGPT, the likes of Grok, they use in building all those AI machines, right? So this is going to tell you that this is where the number one opportunity is, AI and machine learning specialists. Then also you're going to see sustainability specialists, and you are also going to see business intelligence analysts, right? BI analysts. These are people that when they come into a business sector, they will basically look at how the business is growing and be able to optimize everything that the business currently has. For example, maybe they walk into a shop and then if someone comes to order anything in the shop, the seller will have to go back to the warehouse to get the material back to the shop and be able to sell to the clients, right? So when a BI analyst comes into this type of sector, they can easily look at, okay, how is this business structured? And be able to propose, okay, we need to build like a rotor that would allow us to be able to, once a client walks into the shop and say, I want shoes that is size 35, I can easily from my system click the exact shoe, Nike Air, and then put the size, and then the rotor from the warehouse directly bring it to the shop, right? So these are sequences, these are things that a BI analyst can look at on a larger scale to help businesses to grow. And that is why they are constantly going to be in demand, right? And also we have the third one, which is information security analyst. Information security analyst. In this current trend of data growth, data ecosystem boom, right? Fintech expansions, the Wall Street growth, right? There is high demand for information security analysts. Now, this is like the general umbrella for cybersecurity analysts, right? They are the people that protect the data of people in the organization. You and I know we all have two-factor authentication in our WhatsApp, in our possibly Gmail, in our phones. We also have password. These are us applying information security on a lower scale. But on a broader scale, that's where you now start seeing offensive and defensive security, where people learn how to, protect the threats that is going to attack the organization. And because companies will always have data, and because there will always be the bad wagons that want to get the data that doesn't belong to them, there will always be need for this information security analyst. And that is why it is number 4 on jobs that are going to grow. And then just take note of the jobs that we are highlighting, because it's not just about growth, it's also the ease of learning, the ease of transitioning, and the ones that are going to also give you money, right? So just take note of the exact jobs that we are highlighting so that you can be able to transition easily and not learn a course that you are going to learn for 2 years before you can now transition. No, we are here to show you the ropes. We've looked at the report, we've analyzed it, and we are here to show you how it is done. So number 4th jobs is data analysts and scientists, right? Data analysts and scientists. So data analysts are basically people that, analyze data, right? For example, if we bring a data analyst to look at, we have 108 people on the call, we want you to just analyze the data and give us insights from it, right? A data analyst can comfortably tell us, okay, we have out of the 100 people on the call, 50% are people from Nigeria, 20% are from UK, the other 20% is from Canada, and then the other 10 is from Ghana, possibly, right? And you can also give us the gender of people that are on the call. And we'll now take the analysis and go back in-house and be able to say, okay, we use operating expense to market in Canada or to market in UK, but it's giving us low yield. But Nigeria that we didn't really market in is giving us high yield. What that means, what do we do, right? So the data analysts are going to answer the question of what happened, right? How did it happen? And then the scientists are going to now propound to you that if you continue on this trend, this is what is going to happen in future. All right. So the data analysts answer the questions of what happened and why it happened, why the scientists will now basically tell you what is going to happen using machine learning and the likes of it. And because this is constant requirements for all the companies, most companies want to know, want to get insights from their data. They want to be able to say what happened to this data. Why did we spend £10,000 on operating expense? Someone needs to analyze all those data and give the company insights. That is why this is part of the growing jobs. All right. So number 5th one are data engineers, right? So data engineers, in analytics, we see them as plumber, right? The people that connect pipes in our apartments. That's what data engineers are in the data world. They basically build a pipeline that connects the front end to the back end, right? So if you have need for to spool a data that's in the database and you come to your screen and just type, okay, I want to know number of shoes that are red in the store, right? Automatically, a data engineer has built pipeline to go back to the database and be able to count all the shoes that are red and come to the front and tell you, okay, we still have 5 in stock. Now you, as the front end person, will now know what you want to do with data, right? So data engineers build connections from front end to back end, building end-to-end connections that make sure that data flows within the data ecosystem, right? So because there is always need for somebody to connect everybody together, everybody, whether you're a data analyst, whether you're a scientist, whether you are AI machine learning, whether you are a BI analyst, there will always be that need for someone to build a connector that will enable you to flow seamlessly. The data engineers will also always be in high demand, right? And also have data architect, which is also somewhat like data engineers, right? They build the pipeline, the architecture of the flow of data within the data ecosystem. So because of this, they will always be in high demand. Before I go on to other jobs that are also going to be in high demand, I want us to look at the ones that are going to decline, right? That's the jobs on the right-hand side. So if we look at, let me see if I can write on my screen. Oh, I don't think I can. But if you look at the jobs that are going to decline, you see product managers amongst the jobs that are going to decline. I know this is going to be, people are going to be, product managers decline. Why? I'm going to tell you why, right? I'm going to show you why product managers are actually basically in the decline phase. And these are things that we all need to all take note of and be able to transition into a that is going to offer us a return on investment as fast as possible. In the business world, there's what we call turnover rate. Your ability to move products from beginning to end and convert it back to your cash, right? And that is why we want to be able for you to easily turn over yourself from the current phase you are in life to a tech bro or a tech sis and be able to return investment to yourself. So moving on, we also have other jobs that are also going to grow, right? We'll have other jobs that are going to grow. All right, don't know why this is happening. Okay, I think I clicked. All right, I click on the World Economic Forum report. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen again so that we can continue. But if you are still following me, please type a 1 in the chat box so that I will know that I'm not just talking to myself. Please, if you are following me, just type a 1 so that I'll be sure that I'm not talking to myself, that people are actually hearing me and following. Okay, fantastic. I can see a couple of 1 in the chat box. That's amazing. That's amazing. So that I'll be sure that I'm not talking to just Olawale and myself and my team members. All right. So we'll move on. We've touched on jobs that are going to grow, right? Oh, somebody is typing too. Is the person not following me? Wow. Okay, please, you guys should reach out to the person that is typing. Let's be sure that the person is also flowing with us. Okay, I think yeah. So moving on, there are also jobs that we have highlighted for you that are going to help you easily get the tech roles that will help you transition into tech fields and also help you to get remote jobs. We have the project managers also here, right? Remember, I showed us that product managers are going to decline, but here we're having that project managers are going to be in high demand. Now, this is because we have the Scrum Masters currently embedded inside project management, right? So under project management, there are basically 2 arms. We have the waterfall and the agile methodologies. The waterfall are basically people that still use the traditional method of project management, while the agile methodologies are people that use the Scrum, the Lean to, they've imbibed the Scrum methodologies, right? And the difference is basically like someone that is washing clothes. You can use your hand to wash your clothes and then spray and then it dries and then you can wear it. Or you can use a washing machine and after washing, you just put it in the dryer and the dryer dries. And that's the difference. The waterfall people are still making use of analog and traditional means of project management, while the Scrum Agile guys have analyzed and they've added Scrum methodologies into their project management. And that is why they are in increased demand, because there is need for Scrum Masters. There are people that company needs to be able to manage the Scrum team, to be able to interface between the stakeholders and the technical team, right? And also make the company work using agile methodologies. That is why project managers are in increasing demand. Whereas on the other side, we also saw that product managers are going to decline. And it's partly due to the increase in the requirements and the need for Scrum Masters, right? Which are project managers. So I don't know whether we are seeing the correlation right now. Scrum Masters are in high need, and Scrum Masters are basically embedded inside project management, right? And because of that, the need for Scrum Masters is making the product guys to decline. Moving on, we have the other guy, which is financial analyst. The truth is that everybody in the company, there is one main aim, there is one objective that the company wants to achieve, and that's basically to grow their revenue, right? They want to be able to grow their revenue. Whether you're a cybersecurity analyst, your role is to be able to prevent threats, to build a security around the system that will enable the company not lose their data, and by so doing, prevent them from doing increasing their operating expense, and indirectly, you are growing the revenue. Whether you're a data analyst, your own role is to bring out the insights from data and make the company to increase or reduce the manpower or the requirements in some of the areas so that they can also grow their revenue. So everything that all of us are doing in companies is basically has a dotted reporting line to financials, right? And that is why financial analysts will always be in high demand. All the CEOs, all the COOs, the CMSOs, all the Cs, they always want to know what happened to the money, right? Okay, today we expensed $20,000. Tomorrow we expensed $10,000, but we're having increased revenue. What did we do differently that made us to make more money, even though we are expensing less? So there will always be need for somebody to analyze the financials of the company and be able to tell them, okay, if you continue on this line, that means by the end of the year, we're going to be having a gross revenue of $2 million, or maybe we're going to have a gross revenue of $1,000, depending on the insights they are seeing. And because everybody, all the stakeholders, all the C's in the company, they always want to know what happened to their money. There will always be high demand for financial analysts, right? So we've walked you through all the jobs that are going to grow. And remember clearly, there are several jobs that are going to grow, right? But we've highlighted the ones that you have three things in common, right? Ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and high salary return on those jobs, right? Because some of us have done a couple of things, maybe over the years, you're trying to learn possibly software development, and you've been on it for 6 months, for 1 year, and you've not, turned over yourself to be able to return the ROI that you've invested, right? These are because those courses don't have that ease of learning, ease of transitioning, right? So on all the jobs that are going to grow, we've highlighted all the ones that tick these 3 boxes that we always take. That's ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and also has high salary return for you. So please, once you get this report, once you get the slides, ensure that you look through it, right? And but for you to be able to get the slides, you have to fill your attendance in the sheets that my colleague Lydia and Imoa just dropped in the chat box. Okay, so moving on. Remember, I also walked us through that. I'm also tell us why people struggle to get jobs. We'll get there, all right? We'll get there. But before we move on, I want to quickly walk us through some of the things the trends that are currently in vogue in all these across the globe, right? We have 72% of organizations that have tech skills shortage, right? And this is according to Tech Nation and Robert Half. If you know Robert Half, you know that basically they write on employabilities and human resource related things, right? So they have said that 72% of organizations have a tech skill shortage, right? Even in your own company, if you look inwards, you always be complaining, oh, why is this thing not happening? Why is this one not happening? It's because there is a tech role that your company is yet to fill, right? So that means there is high demand for people that has this skill, right? But there is no supply of them. Okay, so tech jobs have reached the top spots for UK hiring over the years, and as at May last year to November of last year, there have been the likes of trades and construction and teaching and healthcare roles that people are transitioning into, right? When our folks, the Black people, when we move to UK, Canada, we see ourselves tilting towards construction jobs. And this is because some of us lack the necessary skills that will enable us transition easily to the tech roles that we need. Olawale, can you still hear me?
Yes, very well.
All right. Fantastic, fantastic. So also, according to Economic Times, right, there is also that skill shortage, right? Even in Canada, as of last year, of the 32,000 jobs that tech job in 2023 gotten by immigrants, Canada has 15,000 of them. That's 47%. And Indians and Nigeria came second with 1,808. And that's like 5% of the jobs that are available. Now, Nigeria was the only African country that is in the top 10, right? But what do we do for us to be able to bridge this gap to get into, at least if Canada is having 15,000, that's what 7%, and another country is taking like 10,000, that is significant space that is meant to be filled by you and I, right? And you can't really get all these jobs if you do not have the requirements. If you don't have the skills, you cannot get them. And data scientists and data analyst roles was seen as the jobs with the most growth in 2024, and that's at the rate of 5.5. And they are closely followed by cybersecurity analysts and data engineers, right? And this is because data analysts and data scientists will always be there to analyze data, right? Companies always want to see, of all this data that we've gathered, somebody needs to make sense of it. And that's what they are there to do, right? So the tech industry is not cooling down. If you think that the saturation is coming, it's not. It's actually, we are still in the initial stage. We are still starting up, right? And with tech jobs posting 25% higher than they were last year, that means there will always be increase in the demand for you and I. And for you to be able to have this demand, you need to have these skills. Okay, you need to have the skills. Now, moving to the other aspect that I talked about, which is why some of us struggle to land jobs. The number one reason why we struggle to land this job is because we put the cart before the horse. What do I mean by that? Simply, people try to get certifications, right, before they even get the skills. And this is you putting the cart before the horse. For example, I know before I transitioned myself, the truth is that I took a couple of certificate-related courses, IBM, Google this, Google that. I took all those courses because I felt, okay, if I have the certificate from Google, I can easily flash it anywhere and then like, I'll land just. But no, that's me putting the cart before the horse. But for you to be able to transition easily, there is number one thing that the tech ecosystem actually takes very, very important, and that's competence over credentials, right? This is like a slogan in tech. That's competence over credentials. For you to transition into any role, there will always be that skill assessment phase, right? And that's the company trying to test your skill. So even if you flash a certificate from Google, from IBM, from Microsoft, they will still test you to make sure that you know the skills, you have the skills. So it's not about getting the certificates and then trying to get a job. No, it's about you getting the skills, you getting the competencies, and then you trying to get a job. So stop chasing certificates and chase the skills. After getting the skills, build a portfolio to show proof of work, right? You have to build a portfolio to show proof of work and then also learn in public, right? There's something that we always tell our students. If you go to LinkedIn and start search analytics, you are going to see a lot of dashboard, a lot of posts from our students that they have posted in the past. So what we do is we have this 90-day challenge for all the people that enters each cohort, right? Where for 90 days, you are consistently posting what you are learning. And this is how recruiters are going to see you. This is how people are going to know, oh, Chukwuemeka is no more a banker. He's now transitioning into data analytics. I know when I was doing mine, I was consistently posting, right? And from there, people knew that, okay, this person is tilting away from banking and is now moving towards data. So you need to be able to learn in public so that people will know these are the skills that you have. Recruiters will know this is the skill that you have, and that's the skill that is going to land you the jobs, right? Another reason why we struggle to land jobs is because we have trivialized job application. It is not about the volume. Forget volume, right? Remember quality. Quality is very, very important. And LinkedIn has made it also easy for us to trivialize the job application. Once you go to the job section and you already have your CV saved, you can always do the is apply, right? Yeah, is apply, and you are using one CV to apply for 10 roles, right? Even if they have something in common, it is always important for you to do what we call job match. You have to match your CV to the job you are applying for, right? There are some certain elements that is needed. Possibly on the job requirement, you are seeing that there is need for a Postgres, right? But you are putting SQL, right? These are the same thing, but ATS, that's application tracking system, will not be able to know that you have the Postgres that the company needs, right? That you have the Postgres knowledge. So it's important for you to look at the job that you're applying to and tailor it down to your own CV. If what they need is a Postgres requirement, put it in your CV and not SQL. Basically, these are the same, right? But then you need to understand it so that you can even pass that initial stage of the application tracking system, because these are basically softwares that are going to review your CV and know whether you move to the next stage, right? If it's physical review, if it's human that is looking at it, anyone that sees Postgres will easily know that, okay, this person has SQL knowledge. That means a person can do the job. But it's computer, it's system. And once it's already programmed to check whether Chukwuemeka has Postgres knowledge, right? And Chukwuemeka doesn't have it in his CV, automatically it's going to sieve me out. So there's always need for you to, match and tailor your CV to all the jobs that you are applying. It's very, 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 very important. Okay. If you don't get anything out of this session, remember that there is need for you to tailor your CV to match the jobs that you are applying for. Then the last one is also that you lack interviewing skills, right? Somebody will ask you, okay, Chukwuemeka, can we get to know you? And I'm already saying, oh, my name is Chukwuemeka, I'm from this, I'm from that, I have 10 children, I have 2 wives, I have this. The company doesn't care, right? They want to be able to know you. They want to be able to know your achievements in the past. They want to be able to know your traits, right? And these are what we call the SIT approach, right? We are going to also train you on interviewing skills. How do you sell yourself using the SIT framework? How do you do this? So please remember, it is not about certificates, right? It's not about volume. And also, you need to have interview skills. So these are things that we also capture in our employability sessions, right? So aside training you for the core competence of the job, we are also going to train you on employability skills. I'm sure my colleague Olawale will still come up to touch on all those things, right? So know that the skills alone is not sufficient. You also need to have the employability skills for you to be able to sell yourself. Because the truth is that your CV is going to get you to the door. You are now going to come and move yourself from that door inside, right? But if your CV is not sufficient, if your interviewing skills, if you are not prepped well, right, you cannot even get to that door for you to be able to get inside. So treat your CV as the most important document, because that's the signboard. That's what's going to give direction to everyone. They are going to get to that place first before you, and they are going to speak for you before you will now be invited to speak for yourself. So always remember, competence over credentials, forget volume, and also have the necessary skills, interviewing skills that you need to know. Like I mentioned initially, there are some certain key reasons why we've selected all those jobs that you saw that we listed in the World Economic Forum report. And that is because of the ease of learning, ease of transitioning or getting a job, and high and rewarding salaries. So these 3 things are the basic reason why we selected those 8 jobs, right? And that's what my colleague Olawale is going to come up and talk to us on the career path that is going to help us land all these tech jobs, right? Olawale, I don't know whether you are on the call right now to take over from me. So guys, I hope you learned something. Yes. If you are still following me, please type a 1 before Olawale comes up, to finish up the session from here. type a one if you are still on the call and following up to this moment so that we will know that you are still here. Fantastic, amazing. That's fantastic. Olawale, have the floor, please. Do you need me to stop sharing?
Yes, please.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much, Emeka.
All right.
That's an interesting one. I'm sure everybody's learning one or two things so far, so good. So from this point, I'm going to share some interesting facts about the roles that the programs that we actually have at Tenalytics, and some interesting discounts that we have running and how you can benefit from it. Okay. All right. Chukwemeka, can you confirm if you see my screen, please?
Yes, I can see it. I can.
Okay. All right. So these are the programs here that Tenalytics have decided to put out there for people who are looking to transition into tech. It's not just based on personal decision or intuition. It's based on facts that Chukwemeka has mentioned. These are career paths that first they are low. The barrier to entry is low, meaning when you hear tech, everybody thinks about writing a lot of codes and the likes. But these are career paths. We call them low code or no code, meaning there are some career paths that you don't have to write codes, and there are some that you write very low amount of code compared to when you're probably like a software engineer and the likes. So they are very good career paths that are high demand, low code, and also easy for you to transition and again move into the tech ecosystem from there. Also, they are high paying. I must mention that, and of course, they are high demand. So we have business analysis, data analytics, financial analytics, HR analytics, full stack data science, Scrum Master, data engineering, and cybersecurity. And again, like I mentioned, the reason why we chose these career paths are not far-fetched. Some of them is, another major thing I need to mention here is the average salary for people who are in this role, even for the beginner entry level in these various countries in the world. So I've seen some people mention that they are thinking of relocating, they want to Japa and all of that. Trust me, you don't want to Japa and go and be doing menial jobs, yeah? I respect whoever is there now doing such, and but I believe they can do better if they transition into tech and make a lot more money for themselves. If you're in the UK as a business analyst as of today, you're earning nothing less than £52,000 annually. In Canada, 74,000 Canadian dollars if you're a business analyst. And in the USA, over 85,000 US dollars is what you'll be earning annually, average for a business analyst. Financial analyst also, the least you see is £51. HR analyst, £32,000. Data analyst, £40,000 minimum. I'm sorry, at the average, if you're in this any of this role and in this major country. So I just picked out these 3 countries just for you to see, because those are the major countries where a lot of people in the Black community are moving to, or they're already living, and then we targeted these major places. And again, this set the standard for many more other countries, especially for the amount in UK, for instance. It sets the standard for most of the countries that are in the European Union, and then for Canada, US, of course, the North America and the likes. And of course, there are people who also get paid this amount of money while working from this part of the world. We see companies like the Andela and the likes that they help to stand in between remote talents here and companies in the diaspora to get them to get paid in the value that they are paying the talents that are there as well. So also full stack data science, about £55,000, $94,000, $121,000 US dollars, if as the average salary for a full stack data science. Data engineers earn a lot more, about $134,000 per annum if they're in the US. In Canada, 102,000 Canadian dollars, and UK over £65,000. Same for Scrum Master and cybersecurity analyst. Yeah. So you can, when you get this slide, you can just take your time to look at how much these people are earning average if you find yourself in these parts of the world as a tech professional in any of this role. So we have carefully selected this role, like I said, because they are high demand. Yeah. For instance, let me tell you a short story. Like, from the way the world is going now, data that is churned out daily is going to quadruple in the next 4 years. And for this fact, we need a lot of data analysts, data engineer, HR analysts, financial analysts, and then cybersecurity experts, because the more data is put out there, the more there are malicious attacks, and then the more we need people who are going to be able to prevent some of these attacks. So cybersecurity is also another role that is growing so fast, and there's a high demand for it. And of course, look at the pay. Canadian, over 140,000 Canadian dollars is what you earn average as a cybersecurity expert in Canada, and over 57,000 pounds annually if you're in the UK, and $105,000 if you are in USA. And there's a saying that it always seems impossible until it is done. Yeah. So at this point, I'd like to share some of our success stories. Yeah. We have Tony here, for instance. Tony landed a job as a benefit analyst with the NHS in the UK with full sponsorship just after 1 month of training with us. Yeah, this is a 4-month training program for someone who is coming from a background that is not tech related. After 1 month of training with us, following through religiously on how we have planned out our programs, which I'm going to get to that very shortly, how we have planned out our programs and doing our own part in terms of coming to class and following through on the course materials. And again, the way we have structured our programs, followed up with internship, meaning we train you on what you need to do to get the job done. We give you projects to work on. So you have a CV that is well doctored and prepared for you to get a job. You have the skills that gets you that's prepared for you, that makes you get ready for a job. And also you have a portfolio to show what you have done while you're learning with us. And of course, during the 1-month internship. Those are part of the employability services that we add to our training programs, which makes it unique and different. And of course, we've seen a lot of success come across from here. So these are some of the people that have enjoyed these services that we offer. We have a host of them. If you get this slide, you can click on it. It takes you to LinkedIn. Our YouTube channel. On our YouTube channel, on the testimonial session, trust me, you see nothing less than 100 testimonials there of students that we have helped. Olugbemi here started to learn with us from Nigeria. He knew he was traveling to Canada, yeah, and he didn't want to go there to go and do menial jobs. So right from Nigeria here, he contacted us and he said he wanted to learn a skill that would make him earn good money when he gets to Canada. And within a few months of getting to Canada, after training with us, he's a business data analyst with a lot depot in Canada. So also we have Benga here. Benga is in Poland. Benga has been unemployed for 2 years. He has been in Poland for a while, unemployed. But then after training with us, helping him to package his CV and preparing him better on what he already knew. And again, helping him to top up his skill in terms of our employability services, which I'll mention again. He was able to land a job in Poland. This is also Abigail. Abigail was a care worker in Canada. And after training with us, she became a business analyst. I think at this point, I would like to play the video of one of them. Let me play a video of Abigail. Okay, sorry. I'll come back to, I think I'll play video of, sorry. I'm looking for Ikmat. Okay. So Ikmat is a full-time mom in the UK, and after our program, she got a job as a data analyst with NHS UK with full visa sponsorship. Our story is quite interesting, and it's one we love to share so much. Chukemika, please confirm if you can hear the sound.
And joining Tenalytics has been
yes, I can. Yes.
And I was with the match cohort in Tenalytics, and joining Tenalytics has been the best decision so far. You know, for me, someone coming from a background of full housewife, because I had to stay back home to look after my child for 4 years, and then wanting to break into something new wanting to go back into the workforce, wanting to place myself in the society for better job opportunities. So it was a lot. And then I'm glad that Tenalytics came along, and then they presented me with so many opportunities right in front of me, better opportunities. And then I'm glad I took it. And then also the advice of do not sell yourself short, that Effie is always saying, it is very, very valid, because place yourself right, don't sell yourself short. It's a very, very, very valid advice. In Tenalytics, they will hold your hands like a child, through the modules. You have the opportunity to go back and study. You have the opportunity to go back and practice. You have the opportunity to ask questions. You have people you can always go back to, even outside of class hours. It's the most amazing experience so far, really. And then another thing is the interview prep, guys. That is another very important thing. I did my interview prep with Mr. Mohammed, and it's the best decision ever, because it was like he saw into the future. He knew what was going to be asked. And I'm glad that I wrote down all the things he mentioned. I went back to practice, and then when it was time for the interview, it was like everything he was mentioning, everything he mentioned, it was just, they kept on. And then when I was answering those questions, I was so confident, because I already practiced. I did an Excel test, I did a math test, and then they were really impressed. And another thing is, guys, it may not come as fast as you expect. Definitely, you are going to get some no's, and then you may begin to think you're not good enough. You are good enough, yes. The no's will come, but always take it as a basis for learning and development, because after every interview where I got a no, I always make sure I get a personal feedback. So I work on those feedbacks for my next interviews. And yes, it worked. It really worked for me, because I got my first job 3 months into the program, my first job. But I couldn't take up the job because I was a student, and I was only eligible to work 20 hours. So I couldn't take up the job. 3 months later, I got 2 jobs with full visa sponsorship. And guys, all the other no's before the 2 jobs prepared me for the yeses I got. So yes, the no's will come, but do not give up, because you always have Tenalytics to go back to. They are the best, and the best thing that's ever happened to me. And then yes, and they are the most affordable. The most affordable one I've come across so far. And that's a very good advantage. So yes, Tenalytics for the win.
All right. So that's Ikmat's story, and I'm going to build on our story to explain some of the things. If you heard, she mentioned interview preps and the likes. Those are the things that we at Tenalytics package together to help this host of students to transition into their first job in tech. We have a whole bunch of them, to be honest. I think you should spend some time when you get this slide to read through everybody's story and learn how they were able to do, how they were able to take advantage of all the programs that we have to transition into tech. Now, before we move on, I'd just like to take you through the programs that we have at Tenalytics, each one of them, and then explain what it is like, show you what your training is going to look like for each of the programs that we have, and then we can build on that. Yeah. So the thing is, maybe after this session, subsequent session, or if you need to ask questions, my colleagues are on the call for you to learn more about these programs, but I'm going to run quickly through them so that you can have an idea what these programs are like, and then you would be able to have a glimpse of what your classes would look like. So for business analysts, yeah, a business analyst, for instance, is someone who acts as a bridge between the business stakeholders and the technical team, ensuring communication and understanding of requirements. So an example of this is if, for instance, an e-commerce company has an issue with their process flow, meaning when a user lands on the website to buy a product, as they go through the checkout to the point of fulfilling the order in terms of delivery and all of that, maybe all of this happens between maximum of 4 days. But over time, you notice that this thing is happening within 10 days. now is stretched to 10 days instead of 4 days. Maybe there's an issue with the delivery, an issue with the order fulfillment, or there's an issue at the checkout point. So as a business analyst, you are going to look at this flow from point A to point B, yeah, and then understand what is happening in between. Then you can now use the knowledge or the information that you found out, the data that you'll be able to gather across all of this process flow, and then be able to advise your technical team and be, okay, for the technical team, you guys should do this, this, and this to make our checkout flow more easier. You should do this and this and this to make maybe for drivers to confirm orders when they get to the customers to make it a lot more smart. You know, that's where you do them. For the business side, for the business owner, the stakeholders, you're also able to advise them that, okay, this is what you need to do to make sure we are able to meet our orders a lot faster. So you act as the bridge between the technical team and the non-technical stakeholders to be able to optimize business flow. And I've mentioned briefly what the salary is like for this role in some parts of in the UK, Canada, and the US. And these are the key learning areas. So like I said, these key learning areas have been carefully selected to give you that knowledge that you need. And then all of this are based on projects that you are going to do and case studies. So that way you are learning, you are not just learning to be able to win an argument or to speak English. You are learning to be able to do the job. Yeah. So when you learn Excel on this program, you are learning Excel using a case study that is related to business analysis. If you are doing Power BI, you are using a case study related, and all of this, you do them weekly, yeah, over a course of 2 months, and then 2 months of internship. That internship meaning you are now simulate a real life work environment such that when you run through your CV, your LinkedIn optimization, then take you into class to learn all the skills. You're also going to now do an internship. That internship now makes you job ready, actually. So you can learn all of these skills anywhere on YouTube, on Udemy, on Coursera. But then the internship, the CV review, the LinkedIn optimization, the mentorship session that we had to it, these are the extra things that now make you ready to apply for jobs. Yeah. Without all of these things, a lot of people would just go out there and keep learning and learning and learning. And I use the internet as the analogy of an ocean. It's endless. Yeah, you could get into the ocean and you could navigate the whole world and never stop. Yeah, same way with the internet. You could say you want to go by yourself and you keep going. For most of us that didn't have early mentorship, we went on that journey and kept going and kept going. But then we figured out that with proper mentorship, just like any aspect in life, with proper mentorship, you can actually do these things a lot faster by learning what you actually need to learn a job, and the extra mentorship that you need to package you and prepare you, give you that confidence to actually go out there and apply for a job. So I'd like to run through this quickly because we have like 6 of them more. And please hold on and wait till I'm done here because I have something special for all of us. If you check your calendar, this month is a special month for the women. So for the women on the call, just hold on, and I have something that we are sharing with you at Tenalytics for this month. So let me move quickly to the next one here. Data analyst. So a data analyst is responsible for analyzing and interpreting data to generate insights and support data-driven decision making. So I was almost mentioned marketing. So I want to use my analogy as a marketer now. That's a data analyst, a marketing data analyst. Yeah. So you're going to gather all the data that is coming in from all angles, from the sales team, from the marketing team. You use data to be able to inform decision making. For instance, you're able to use data as a marketing data analyst now. I'm able to use data to say, okay, this content is doing better than this content. This platform, for instance, TikTok is doing better than Instagram. Or I can say Facebook is doing better than LinkedIn. Or we are getting more customers from LinkedIn that we are getting from TikTok. You know, you're able to use data to learn, to understand what's going on and make decisions as in that regard. Also, you're able to inform on the market, on the stakeholder side in terms of telling them things like, okay, based on the data that we have, I think we should buy more of this product because we are selling more of this. Maybe if you are buying this product, we should buy more of this color, or we should buy more of this size. You know, you're able to use data. Just by data analytics, you're able to understand and help to make decisions, support decisions on both the technical and a non-technical end. And again, some of the things you'll be doing there is descriptive and diagnostics analysis. Descriptive meaning once you get any data, you're able to describe what the data is about. I can get data and I can tell you, okay, this data is related to advertising. I can get data, this data is related to social media. I'm able to describe what that data is, or I'm able to diagnose, again, through data, I'm able to diagnose what the problem could be. So if you're making maybe like average of 10 million per sale, per 10 million sale average monthly, and for a month it drops to 6 million, I'm able to diagnose and using data to be able to tell that, okay, this is why it dropped to 6 million. Or if you have a spike to 20 million all of a sudden, you can be able to use data to say, okay, this is why there's a spike to 20 million. So that's what a data analyst does. You're able to look at data, numbers moving around, but you're able to bring them all together and tell a story. You're able to make sense out of it. So the key learning areas for a data analyst is problem solving. Yeah, problem solving, because that's why you are there as a data analyst. You are more or less like, you tell them where to go, you tell the business where, you tell the stakeholders where to go, you tell them, you see things that they are not seeing. So you're able to see where the problem is and able to profile solution. Yeah. Looking at data, you're able to define a problem. Like I said, the scenario I used the other time, there's a drop in the amount of sales monthly. As a data analyst, you're able to identify what the problem is and able to tell them, okay, this is what to do to solve that problem. So you actually hold a very key role as a data analyst in any organization you find yourself. So how do you now structure problem solving in a way that, as a professional, that's one key area that you're going to learn once you begin your course in data analytics. Then, of course, you learn Excel, SQL, structured query language, how you're able to query database, because when this data is stored in a tank, for instance, let's use the analogy as a tank, data is stored in there. How do you dig out the kind of data you want? Maybe you need, okay, 1 cup of water from the tank, or you need 2 cups of water, or you need 150 cl of water, How do you query data out of the database? So you learn how to do that. Then you have the Power BI, Tableau. These are dashboard tools that you need to use to now position your data in different ways and then use it to tell a story. Of course, data storytelling also. Data storytelling meaning you're able to tell a story with your data. Yeah, all the data, the numbers and all the likes that you have, it wouldn't make sense to your CEO or to your founder, for instance. But as a data analyst, you're able to tell a story. You can tell a story with the data from January to December and make sense out of a bunch of files and all of that everybody else is saying. You are able to tell a story and be able to define a problem and profile a solution and give recommendations that will move a company forward. Then, of course, you have ChatGPT for analytics and Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric is a new tool that is still in the beta phase at Microsoft, but then we have facilitators who are able to teach you how to make use of it. So once you move out there, you are first in class in terms of people that are able to use Microsoft Fabric. ChatGPT, for instance, if you were learning data analytics 2-3 years ago, you probably wouldn't be able to use ChatGPT to do data analysis. But now it's something that you have to have. So we take cognizance of some of these things and make sure that we are teaching you what you actually need to stay on top of the game and then get a job immediately. So you're not just learning, like I said, you're not learning to win arguments or to say, okay, I'm a data analyst, but you are learning to be able to get a job done. So all of these are going to be project-based, case study-based classes where you learn how to use all of these tools. So this is also a 4-month program. For 3 months, active learning, project-based learning, and then 1 month internship, where you now go ahead and work in groups and work personally on projects, bring it back to your facilitators. They check what you have done. They encourage you to post all of these things on LinkedIn because, of course, I'm going to share stories of some students who were actually found on LinkedIn by HR professionals. And that's a common trend now, especially on LinkedIn and the likes, especially in the diaspora. HR professionals actively go to LinkedIn to find the kind of talents that they want. So the internship now, for the 1 month internship, you're not everything you've learned in the past 3 months, you're actually putting it into work and doing projects, bringing it back for feedback and all of that, and then posting it online and building a portfolio. Yeah, I should mention that you are building a portfolio So in the tech ecosystem, that is why we say it is more of competence over credential. In the tech ecosystem, you can ask anybody, do your research. It is more about what can you do. It is not what you know. What you know is there, but then what can you do? So that is why the 1 month internship is to get you a portfolio. So you are telling them, this is what I know on one hand, and on the other hand, you are telling them, this is what I can do. This is what I have done. So when you are talking to your HR, you are speaking based on things that you have done, not just based on knowledge. Yeah. So let me move quickly to the next one here. HR analyst. So this is more or less a data analyst now doubling down on a domain knowledge, which is HR. Yeah, like I mentioned before, I'm from the marketing background and I did data analytics. Yeah, so I literally say I'm a marketing data analyst. But in this case here, this course here is HR analytics. So a data analyst doubling down. A data analyst doubling down on HR. Yeah, so this is very suitable for people who probably have a background in HR. So HR managers now, your HR manager, but if you don't have some level of data analytics knowledge, you're probably, those are one of the programs that, one of the career paths that Chukwuemeka mentioned are probably going to dwindle away in the next few years. So yeah, also basically you're learning the problem solving, Excel, Power BI, SQL language. These are the basics of data analytics. Then you are now doubling down on things like HR analytics and performance evaluation, HR metrics and lifecycle, HR analysis and dashboarding, collaboration and report automation. You are building your case and creating action, ChatGPT for analysis. So all of this, you are now using data, yeah, to optimize HR processes. You're using data to optimize employee performance. You're using data for talent management. This is also a 4-month program, 3 months of active learning and 1 month of internship. Yeah. So another cool thing about this internship, I think, okay, let me not just move too far ahead of myself. I'm going to get to why you need this internship program and how it's going to be of maximum benefit to you. So here also we have the financial analytics. Yeah, this is also basically a data analyst who is now using financial data to help a company's financial performance, support their decision making by the financial department, and of course the executive management. So like I said again, you learn the basics of data analytics. Now you now add the accounting fundamentals, financial analysis, financial modeling, which is a very, very important one, valuation, sensitivity and scenario analysis, then of course, ChatGPT for analytics. This is also a 3-month program. 4-month program, 3 months of active learning, 1 month of internship, where you're actively building your portfolio. Data scientist. Now, a data scientist is another level to data analytics. So I mentioned what a data analytics does majorly. They see data, they're able to describe that data, and again, using that data, they're able to diagnose what the problem might be and then provide solution. Now, there is one other level to it where the data scientists come in, which is now predictive analytics. Now, looking at data, now they're able to build models that can think ahead of time. They're able to do things like, okay, because of the data they have now, they can tell you that, okay, in the next 4 months or in the next 4 to 6 months, this is what is going to happen in the company based off the data, historic data that they had. They're able to, so they're able to prepare you for what's going to happen. Yeah, they're able to build models, machine learning, the computer vision and all of that. Those are the things you will learn as a data scientist. So all of this is like, you're now 1 step ahead as a data scientist, using data science to see into the future. Those are the things like when you have like forecast and the likes, those are the things that a data scientist is able to do. So in this case now, you now start learning things like Python programming, yeah, exploratory data analysis, machine learning, computer vision, GitHub version controlling, ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot for coding, and of course, Microsoft Fabrics and the likes. So like I said, this is where you're now doing statistics, the likes of the statistics, you're doubling down on Tableau, also forecasting and predictive analysis using Microsoft Excel. This is also a 4-month program, 3 months of active learning, project-based learning, and then 1 month of internship. So I'll move ahead quickly to data engineer. So a data engineer now is the one who makes sure that all the data that this data scientist and the data engineer would use to do all the awesome stuff that they do, they make sure that data is kept, is gathered and kept in a place where it's easy for them to use. Yeah. So as a data engineer, sort of, you are the one that is designing, constructing, and maintaining the infrastructure, majorly called database or large scale processing system, to allow for storage and retrieval of data. Data engineer, we use the analogy of a plumber for a data engineer. A data engineer is the one that makes sure a borehole is dug. Yeah, they make sure there is something that pumps water out of the borehole. They make sure it lays the pipe to connect that water into a tank. Then from the tanks also, it lays the pipe that makes sure the water gets into every areas of the house. Yeah, the toilet, the kitchen, and what have you, for everybody to now be able to get access to the water. So people that now get access to that water for use, and now the data and the data analysts, the data scientists, and every other form of data professionals that you have. So the data engineer is one who lays that pipeline, make sure all of that works good. So for the key learning areas, introduction to data engineering, SQL, of course, Python, programming, Linux, building custom ETL pipelines for database APIs, Apache Stack, Apache Airflow. This might be interesting for people who already have an idea what a data engineer does. Of course, AWS Cloud Engineering, version controlling on GitHub, then ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot. So this program, yeah, because of how interesting it is and how important it is, it takes 5 months, unlike the others. 5 months of active learning, then 5 months program, 3 months of active learning, and then you have 2 months of internship, 3 months active learning, and then 2 months of internship, yeah, to get you grounded as a data engineer that is ready to do the job. So the next program here is the Scrum Master. So Chukwuemeka mentioned Scrum Master the other time, and how they are going to literally take away the role of the product manager. Scrum Master is more like the facilitator, a coach for a team that works on a project using the Scrum model. The Scrum Master ensures that people follow the Scrum rules, work well together, solve any problems that comes up, so that projects go smoothly. So when you have product designers, product managers, the software developers, data analysts, and the likes, the Scrum Master literally make sure that everybody works in sync and delivers on the project. Yeah, so they are more like the next level project managers in the tech ecosystem. So they make sure everybody works in sync to achieve the project, because working remotely and also the way the tech ecosystem is, it's easy for people to just get distracted working in different parts of the world. But the Scrum Master is more or less the glue that makes sure everybody works in sync and deliver on projects. Sorry. So a key learning area for this program, introduction to Scrum, the Scrum team and artifacts, product backlog, the Scrum artifacts, Scrum events, Nexus Scaled Scrum, and the preparation for PSM exam. So this is a 2 months program. For that 2 months, 1 month of learning, and for 1 month, you are going to be linking up with every other team program, people that are on every other program that you have mentioned here, and be able to coordinate them to do a final project that you're able to add to your portfolio. So you're literally mimicking a real world project and making sure everybody works in sync. So your role is quite important, even for the whole program as a whole. So everybody that is in data engineering, data analytics, HR, they all report to you in a way, and you all work together as a team during the internship process. So the last one here, before I go to the interesting part, is the cybersecurity. Yeah, like I mentioned, you play a crucial role in protecting organization, computer system, and networks from cyber threats. This is it's a high demand role. And I will tell my colleagues, it's a very purposeful role, because you'll be saving a lot of people from headaches in the future. A lot of people are going to lose a lot of money from cyber attacks, but you are going to be there to prevent all of this from happening. And like I said, because of the rate at which cyber attacks are growing now, from individuals to companies, even nations are throwing cyber attacks at each other. So your role is to make sure you build that defense system that make sure all of these threats are put down as much as possible. So the key learning areas there is introduction to cybersecurity, foundations of computing and networking, information security principles, offensive and defensive cybersecurity, cryptography basics, cyber threats and vector attack vectors, network security, endpoint security, web and application security, cloud security, incident report and forensics, and cybersecurity policies and compliance. So these are the basic things that you're going to learn as a cybersecurity expert. It's also a 4-month program, 3 months of active learning, and 1 month of internship where you work on real-world projects. So I'll move ahead straight now to the best part. Like I said, the women on this call, I have something interesting for you. You know this is your month, so Tenalytics is prepared also to do something awesome to celebrate the women. So again, why should you join us? Over the last, since we started in 2020, we've helped more than 2,000 people transition from the classroom into their first tech career. And 2023 alone, over 850, that is last year alone, over 850 people transition from the classroom to their first job in tech. Over 850. So these are people that came from law, background in law, background in medicine. Some were probably, they were doing care jobs before. Some never did any job, like Ikmat, like you heard, she was a full-time housewife, a full-time stay-at-home mom. And then she was able to move from the classroom into her first tech job. So this is a tested process, yeah, that we've tried over and over for the past couple of years now. And we are proud of the results that we have seen so far. So it's something we are ready to push and help as many people as possible. First with the Black community, and then to as many people around the world that are willing to transition into tech and enjoy what we have to offer at Tenalytics. Now, why you should train with Tenalytics, like I said, first, we help to update your curriculum. We have an up-to-date curriculum, meaning most of our facilitators are people who are working during, our classes happen on weekend. So these are people that work from Mondays to Friday, and on Saturday, they come to class to pour out all they know into you. They are industry experts with hands-on experience. Our training program is well blended to accommodate everyone, meaning, like I said, our programs happen on Saturdays, where if you're in Europe, for instance, you have a morning class, then there's another evening class that accommodates those who are in North America. Then again, outside the classes that you have on Saturday, on Sunday, we send you videos that will prepare you for the next class. We call them Watch Me Do It videos. So you're learning Excel this week. You probably learn Excel for the first 2 weeks. The next week, the third week, so jumping to maybe Power BI, will give you a video. So if you learn Excel on a Saturday, on Sunday, we give you a video that will prepare you for Power BI for the next weekend. So that way you can watch during the week at your own time to prepare you for what is coming. So when you come to class the next weekend, you are now literally going through, now your facilitator is literally going through that video that you've seen ahead and then showing you a project that you can do and use that to build your own portfolio. And we carry everybody along during the week. If there's anything you miss out in class, you get a video of recording of the class itself. Then again, during the week, there are drop-in sessions where you can ask questions from facilitators, your coordinators, and your colleagues also that are in class. So we have this. So this way we're able to carry everybody along. That's what we mean by our blended training delivery that accommodates everyone, be it slow learners, fast learners. So that way we're able to help people who have no tech career at all transition easily into tech. So we also have the additional employability service. We've mentioned that a couple of times, the CV reviews, the LinkedIn optimization, Upwork optimization, how to navigate the job market. So these are additional services that you wouldn't get in the likes of Coursera or Udemy or all of those online education platforms. These are intentionally added, that these are the things we believe are going to actually help you get that job. So it's not just the knowledge or the skill, but these additional services are what will now help you and position you as a professional within that short period of time. Yeah, of course, then again, the internship that I mentioned earlier help you simulate a real life work environment. coming from a background in medicine, for instance, and within 4 months, you are able to say, okay, now I'm a data analyst. This internship is what gives you that sense of doing a job, and of course, helps you defend yourself when you're in the front of an HR professional. So this is what, like I said, helps you prepare you as an industry-ready tech professional. So additional employability services that I mentioned the other time, we've intentionally structured it in 3 layers. I'm going to run through that quickly for you to see how it's going to push you through into being a tech professional in no time. Because, like I said, learning all these skills alone is not enough. But these are the things that are going to help you to be ready and be able to get a job. Yeah, we have the CV review sessions. Yeah, so your CV, we're able to look at your CV and help you prepare your CV such that it aligns with whatever past you have, whatever past career you have. Yeah, if you have a career in medicine, for instance, yeah, we can help you tailor your CV such that you talk about data that is related to what you've done in medicine. How many patients you see per week? How many types of diseases are common? You know, we're able to bring out data from whatever it is you have done in the past, align that in your CV into your new career path in tech as a data analyst. So there's the CV review session that happens, and we help to tailor everybody's CV into their new career path. Then, of course, the LinkedIn optimization, like I said, most HR professionals now go on LinkedIn to search for the kind of talents that they want. How optimized is your LinkedIn profile? A lot of people probably have better Instagram profile, better Facebook profile than a LinkedIn profile. But then this is where professionals converge. So you should be able to optimize your LinkedIn such that if I type for a data analyst in Lagos or a data analyst in London, data analyst in Calgary, you should be able to pop up as one of the top in that. So how do you do all of that? You're going to learn how to do it. Those are the additional services that we offer at Tenalytics. Then, of course, there's Upwork optimization also. This is a place where you actually get freelance jobs, 3 months, 4 months, 6-month gigs that you just want to run through quickly as a contractor. So this is where you find them. How do you now get found by people who are looking for this talent? So you have to also help you optimize your Upwork account. And of course, navigating the job market. There are a lot of job boards out there. Which ones are real? Which ones are not? Yeah. Depending on your location, which ones are most favorable? Where do you actually get this job? So we also have sessions and trainings that would help you navigate the job market depending on where you are and help you position you for the job. So you mentioned, you should remember Ikmat, I played a video the other time, mentioned the job interview preparation that she was able to enjoy at Tenalytics. So this is where, when you now start, we encourage you to start applying for jobs from the 2nd month that you start your program with us. This is just to prepare you for what the job market is like. So once you start getting interview invites, yeah, you don't just have to jump to it or jump at it rather. You can always come back to us and let us know that you have an interview. Then we are going to prep you. Looking at the job you applied for, we'd ask you questions that you would likely meet at the interview. Yeah, and based on your response, we give you our feedback. And this is one other major thing that makes us a game changer in the industry. So this is what we now use to prepare you. So when you are going to the interview, you can be rest assured that out of 5 questions that they will ask you, 3 to 4 of those questions, you must have gone through it with the interview prep session. So this is open to all our students who are in our program. Then, of course, the reference letter. Now, you're coming from a background in law. You've done law all your life. You want to transition into tech, yeah? And then again, your HR, the HR manager is going to ask you questions like, who can vouch for you? Who can tell me that, okay, this person is actually a seasoned data analyst? That is where we're now coming again by giving you reference letters. So while you're doing your internship, you would actually add it to your CV that you did an internship with Tenalytics. Yeah. So when you go to your interview, you've done your part in terms of attending classes, done your CV properly. In fact, you're not going to done your interview well, and they want a reference. Tenalytics is willing to give you that reference and provide that reference to you to vouch for you and say, oh, Mr. A or Mrs. B is actually a seasoned HR professional, HR analyst, or a seasoned data engineer, and they can actually do the job. Of course, you get this letter after you've done your part, attended classes, done your projects, completed your internship projects, taking the feedback that will give you and also developed on that. So you get a reference letter that Udemy would not give you, or you wouldn't get if you were learning by yourself on YouTube. So this is another guarantee that will prove to anybody that, okay, this person is actually ready for the job market and they can do the job properly. Then, of course, the second level to all of this now is the weekly mentorship sessions. These mentorship sessions, we bring in people who have gone through this part in terms of the tech ecosystem, even past students. Yeah, people who have graduated, people like ICMAS, like I mentioned, all of those students that you see, some of them are willing to give back, yeah, because their life have been literally transformed with Tenalytics. So they want to help as many people as they can also. So weekly, we have sessions where they come back and then they share with you their own story. They understand where you are right now. They've been there before. So whatever it is they can share with you to make sure they make your journey a lot smoother. So we make that happen on a weekly basis also. So that's also a motivating factor to make you know that whatever it is you're doing now, someone has done it before, and then you can also get there in no time. Then of course we have on the job support. So you've done your data analytics in the past 3, 4, 5 months, and you're getting your job. There are things that would come out as strange to you on the job. You can always reach back at Tenalytics. Our facilitators, our coordinators are willing to always help and help you even while on the job. So if there's something your boss say, can you do this? You don't have to say no. Tell them you can do it, get it, and then you can always reach out to us, and we'll see how to help you navigate all of that till you get your feet firm in your role. So if you follow all of this, yes, there is a responsibility part of all of this. Yeah, we have structured our programs, selected what you need to know to be ready for a job. We have put the internship program for you there to be able to do project-based work and to show off and build a portfolio. We have given you the CV review sessions. We've done LinkedIn optimization. We've shown you how to navigate the job market. We have helped you prep for interviews. We are willing to give you reference letters. Some professionals and past alumni are coming back to tell you what they've been through. We are showing you on the job support. If you follow all of this together, playing your part within that 4-5 month stretch, then we can assure you that you are going to have at least an interview a month after your training with us. So after your first 4 months, following all of this religious, like I said, there's a responsibility component to it. We playing our part and you playing your part, putting your heads down to really learn. Yeah, it takes a lot for someone to say, okay, I want to change my life. I want to do new things with my life. Yeah, so doing your part and playing your part, we can assure you that you can get a job interview 1 month after completing your training with us. We've seen people who got interviews while on the training. We encourage you to start applying for jobs from the first, second month. By the time you're done with Excel, Power BI, SQL, we'll push you out there to start applying for jobs so that you keep learning. Whatever no's that you get will make you prepare you for the yes that would eventually get your feet standard on the job. So another addition that we have in 2024, these are very new things that we introduced. Like I said, the body mentorship or mentorship sessions. Before, we always bring in professionals who are already in the tech space to speak with our students. But now also, most of our students that have gone through the program and have succeeded, we bring some of them back. They are willing to give back in terms of mentorship, serve as a support system, and help students to answer questions that they might have and help them move through the process. Of course, also the internship program is something we take very seriously and is enhanced for data engineering and business analysis, where they have 2 months of internship instead of the 1 month that the other programs have. So because we take those 2 programs, they are very key programs. So they have 2 months of internship to get really solidly grounded compared to the others. Then finally, for our top students, because of how fast we are growing, we are getting requests from recruitment companies in UK, Canada, US, and other countries. So most of our top students, we can assure them, more of the reasons why we can assure them of an interview 1 month after our program is because we partnered with some of these recruitment agencies such that once you're done, we can push you across to them. And then for open roles, and like I said, there are always open roles. If you check for the skills shortage list for UK, Canada, US, you find data analysts are always in high demand. So we have partnered with some recruitment agencies where it's easy for you now to quickly get your first interview, get your first job as much as you put your efforts into it. So the next cohort that is happening in April. April is a special month. Yeah. So whatever it is we are doing from March, today is March 3rd to the 31st, there is a window that is open, and it's usually open just once in a year. And all of this is to prepare you for the next cohort. Our March cohort started yesterday. Yeah. So all of this we are saying is to push you into the April cohort. Like I said, I have something interesting to share with you. So last year we started an initiative for women. Yeah. We helped 300 women transition into tech just by reducing the costs for them. But then the men said, why did you have left us behind? So now we are adding 50 men to the 300 women. And you know why we're doing this? On the 8th of this month is the International Women's Day. So our Tenalytics is more or less our way of giving back to the community. So last year we helped our first 300 women to transition into tech. So this year we are adding another 300 women, helping them to transition into tech, and 50 men. We call them support allies. Support allies because all the projects that are going to be working on are projects related to women inclusion in tech. Yeah. So I'm going to share stories about some of the people that have benefited in this program. So if you look at some of the articles there, this is the one we did last year, published on Punch newspaper. You can click on this link to check about it, to check more about it. So literally for this scholarship for women, we are going to reduce the price by 50%. Yeah. So I'm going to share the prices for our programs. Is going to be slashed by 50% for 300 women and 50 men that are moving into the April cohort. Yeah, the first 300 and the first 50 men. Because like I said, our program, we're intentional about it. We make sure everybody is carried along. So our classes have a limit. 300 women and 50 women. We are slashing the price by 50%. So if you are doing any of data analytics, business analysis, HR analytics, financial analytics, full stack data science, data engineering, and cybersecurity, you're paying 50% of the full amount. And it's a one-time payment. Yeah. And if you're doing Scrum Master, 50% also is what you're paying for that. Yeah. Once we fill the slot for the 300 women and 50 men, then we're going to close. And this is also for the April cohort only. This is going to run from today. It's going to be officially announced on our website, on the news blogs. You see the last one was on Punch newspaper. It's going to be officially there by this coming week because we believe by March 8th is the celebration itself. So for the full month is when we are running this discount for, again, 300 women and then 50 men. 50 men, we call them the support allies. Like I said, if you're a man on this call and you want to take advantage, have it in mind that all the projects you'll be doing will be related to women inclusion tech. So this is the month for the women. We celebrate you. We appreciate you. We know how much impact you can do if you're enabled in tech industry. We've seen the impact that the ones that we did last year made. So in this year, we are going all in again to make it happen for women. So there is a form that is going to be shared on the call by my colleagues. So on that form, they are going to fill you're going to look at the terms and conditions that apply to be able to be eligible. Then you fill in your details. Once you submit that form, you get an automated email. That automated email is going to have this link here. And on this link, you make your one-time payment to secure your spot. for the April cohort. Yeah, one-time payment. This is going to run from now till the end of March, I believe. Yeah, to the end of March. And then, or when we have our 300 women and 50 men. So take advantage of this discount and make your payments quickly. First, like I said, you need to sign, because for this special cohort, the International Women's Scholarship, the program certificate that will be going out to you is going to be different. So we'll need some information from you to be able to make that, to apply on that certificate, and also for you to see the terms and conditions that apply. So fill that form, and then once you get the automated email, make sure you click on the payment link and make your payment quickly. Once we have our full slot of the 300 women, we're going to close it out. This is not live yet. Like I said, the program flyers and communications are going to roll out from Tuesday next week. So for those who have made it to this call, I count you lucky, because we have not made it public yet. So from next week, it's going to go public, and I can assure that the slots will be open for so long. It's going to run through the month, but immediately we have 300 women and our 50 men, then we're going to close it for the April cohort. So I believe my colleagues are sharing that form already. Okay, so I believe they are sharing that form already. Please fill it in. If you're applying, if you're going for any of the programs, including data analytics again, business analysis, HR analytics, financial analytics, full stack data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, you're paying, if you're in Nigeria, you're paying 450,000 instead of 900. If you're in the UK, you're paying 312 pounds and 50 shillings instead of 625. Then again, you're paying 525 Canadian dollars and 375 US dollars. Then again, for Scrum Master, you're paying 270,000 naira if you're in Nigeria. If you're in the UK, you're paying 187. If you're in Canada, you're paying 315, and if you're in US, you're paying $225. This is a very limited opening, so please take advantage of it, and looking forward to seeing you in class. Please, if you're here and your wife is not here, tell your wife about it. Your sister is not here, tell her about it. Women are very powerful in the community. Like I said, from the one we did last year, we've seen a massive impact in terms of how they have, I believe they got most of the jobs in terms of people transition from class into getting, and you know, when women are more empowered in society. So it's something we are very happy to do. This is our second edition, and it's something we hope to continue to do moving forward. So this is, we call it the International Women's Day Scholarship by Tenalytics. So take advantage of this and jump on it quickly. So if you have any, so there are more testimonials here. I want to look for, okay, you've heard about Ikma. Ramat also, she was a beneficiary of last year's International Women's Day scholarship. Ikman is a beneficiary. So take your time and fill in that form, confirm your eligibility. Once you fill that form, then immediately you get the email, read the terms and conditions, and make your payment, one-time payment, and then you secure your spot immediately. If you were here a week ago or 2 weeks ago, trust me, you wouldn't believe you'll be paying that amount for any of our programs. But then, like I said, this happens just once for the women, celebrating all of you. So take advantage of that and make your payment quickly. If you have been looking for an opportunity to break into tech, this is the time. Tell your mom about it, tell your sister about it, tell your girlfriend, tell your wife, and help them transition. This is a decision that you'll be glad you made for them. And for the men also, so that you will not say we will not do anything for you. Last year, we got a lot of backlash from men saying we didn't celebrate them. So now 50 men, you take advantage of this also, and you'll be glad you did. All right, so there are a lot more interesting stories from our past participants here. You once you get this slide, you can come and look through them. this is a lot to go through in one night. Yeah. So take your time to read through messages, private chats that is sent to us, confirming how they got from job, appreciating what the impacts that we'll be able to make in their lives. So take your time to run through all of this. So this is Uthman here. Uthman didn't attend a master class. He didn't attend a master class like this. But someone who loves him so much attended, knew the value, and then asked him to join us. And within the first few months into the program, he landed a job as a business intelligence officer with NHS UK. So the reason why I'm saying this is because if you know anybody who would enjoy something like this, who would benefit from this, you might be in Nigeria, the person is in UK, the person is in Canada or in the US. You might be in the US and the person is in UK. You might be in Canada and the person is in Nigeria and they're planning to travel, or they're here in Nigeria looking to get remote jobs. Please let them know about this, make them know about the scholarship that is running, and let them take advantage of the 50% discount quickly, as soon as possible. So this is a lot more story. This is Ibrahim. I'm sorry, Abdul Rashid. Yeah, Abdul Rashid is chilling somewhere in Abuja, working with a company in the US as a data scientist. So your location actually is not a barrier. If you're doing this to travel, fine. If you're doing this to remain in Nigeria and still make your money, it's actually possible. We have laid out the programs, what you need as the extra services to make you get there. Your dedication is what you bring to the table. Your dedication to learn, what the motivations Chukwuemeka has, was actually motivating you to get there. A good laptop and internet, and then you're ready to transition into tech. Yeah. So like I said, till date, we've helped over 2,000 people transition. From 2020, we started till this moment. We've helped over 2,000 people transition from the classroom into their first tech job. Last year was one of our best years. We had over 850 students transition into their first tech careers. This is where some of our students are presently working, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So if you're ready to gain the premium technology skills and transition into tech, also take advantage of the scholarship that we have for women. Please make sure you let the women take advantage of this first before the men should come in. But then it's open for 50 men. So take advantage. If you've been to any of our webinars before, you know that this price slash is actually a major one for us. And this is our way of giving back, our way of building the community as well. So let me just go back to that screen where you see the prices that you need to pay. Fill in the form on the chart to confirm your eligibility. And once you're done with that, and then you can go ahead and make a one-time payment. Like I said, before now, if you're paying this 900, we're able to help you split it into 2 payments. But this time is just a one-time payment for you to make this happen. So I don't know if there are any questions, or Chukwuemeka, do you have any comments? Anything I probably missed out that you want to talk about? Okay, yeah, I have some people. But go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, yeah, I was trying to say that there's a couple of questions in the chat box, so I don't know whether it's time for us to take it. But before we take it, I would like to chip in something here, right? So basically, this International Women's Day scholarship, even though we might be looking at it like, okay, it's 300 women and 50 men that we have, and you might feel that, oh, this is enough number to get me accommodated. No, I think as of last year, immediately we finished the first session and pronounced some of this scholarship. A day after, some of these slots were filled, right? So what I advise everybody on this call to do is to try as much as possible to get into this scholarship today, right? And how do you get in? Is by clicking on that main stack link and making payments, right? So please, it is very, very important that you take advantage of this session. By virtue of you being on this call from 8 till almost 10 p.m. West African time, I think it's important that you key into this. right? Because the truth is, after this exact one, the pricing that you might see here might be somewhat the ones that will start complaining about again, right? So please, you've been on this course since 8 o'clock. Take advantage of this and make sure that you get into tech through this exact International Women's Day scholarship. Okay, so that's all I want to chip in, Olawale, before we start taking people's question, all right? So I don't know whether you want to anchor that.
Awesome. Yeah, you can go ahead and please anchor it. Yes.
All right. So guys, please, if you have any question, just use the raise hand icon to raise your hand so that we can call you up and you get to interact with us. Okay. Then we'll also be taking a couple of questions from the chat box, but easily just raise your hand and we are going to call you up to ask your question so that we can take it here. So I'm going to ask Osita Okeke to unmute. So Osita, you have the floor, please.
Hi, good evening. Can you all hear me? Yes. Can you hear me?
Osita, I've asked you to unmute. Are you there?
I have unmuted. Can you hear me?
Okay, while we wait for Osita, I'm going to
I can hear Osita actually.
To unmute. So Nengi, you have the floor.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Osita. Can you go ahead, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Chukwemeka, but I don't know if you can hear me.
I think Chukwemeka is having issues.
Olawale, can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Osita, can you please go ahead?
Olawale, can you hear me?
I can hear Osita, but I can't hear Chukwemeka.
Okay, so is it okay for me to go ahead?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you very much. I think this program I just met this program right at the nip of time when I most needed it. In fact, just yesterday, I was just about to pay for a data science course on Coursera, but something made me hold back, and I got into this program. So I think this is exactly what I need. So thank you very much for the presentation. It's well thought out. It's well detailed. I think it explains all the things that I've been looking for. But one thing, I think it was mentioned later, because I think I did ask it in the chat box, but I didn't get a response. But I later saw that yes, because you guys were just speaking about people that want to quote unquote japa, people that live in US, Canada, and the likes, right? So for those of us that don't want to japa, that want to stay here, I was just asking, is it possible for us to be able to get the same job, same pay, while living and working remotely from Nigeria? I'll let you to answer that, because I see the guy you said that is living in Abuja and working as a data scientist. And what I don't know is whether he still gets the same pay as somebody that is living there. I'll let you to answer that. Then secondly, as per the scholarship thing, I've actually filled the form and I'm trying to pay. I didn't get any notification in my email, but I saw something that says, oh, click here to pay. It's telling me to pay $950, right? So I think you said you guys have a discount. So I'm wondering why that is. So I'm having some technical problems trying to do that, just so you know. But I filled the form and I'm willing to pay in order to participate in the program. Thank you very much. If I have another question, I'll ask. But good thing you guys are doing, because this is exactly what I need, because like I said, I was just about to pay for a Coursera yesterday and somehow I didn't do that. But yeah, so I'll let you answer some of the questions. Thank you very much, and I look forward to getting in the program.
Thank you very much, Osita. So like I showed you earlier, there is a guy, one of our, is actually part of our team also, Abdul Rashid. Then a host of others that I'm going to share with you shortly. You can actually get jobs, because what you're learning here in Nigeria is the same thing. The Excel you're using in Nigeria, same Excel you use in Canada, same Excel you use in Europe. The same Power BI, the same SQL, is a universal tool. So as a data analyst, you're a global talent, and most of these companies also look out for talent in this part of the world. Yeah, so you can actually get a job from Nigeria working with international companies. How do you navigate and get these kind of jobs? How do you find companies that go outside their geographical domain to employ people in places like Africa, South Africa, in people like Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, the major growing tech hubs in Africa? How do you get all of these roles? All of this is what you are going to learn also in the sessions that you have during the program in terms of mentorship and the likes, navigating the job market. So yes, it's actually very possible for you to get roles as in the tech ecosystem while working from this part. So it's not necessarily for everybody, that they're only for people that are traveling out. Even from here, you can actually get a job. So on the second question, in terms of trying to make payment, my colleagues on the chat are going to reach out to you. I'm sure they're listening to me now. They're going to reach out to you and help you through that process. I have Elijah, I have Aimoa, I have Lydia on the call. So one of them is going to reach out to you and help you through that process. And we're looking forward to seeing you in class. Thank you, Mr. Osita. If you have any more questions, you can send me a chat or send it to any of my colleagues. I'll be glad to answer your questions. So I'm going to go to the next person. Please, I want the women to speak because this is actually for... Obina, can you please go ahead?
Can you hear me? Good evening.
Yes, Obina, go ahead.
Okay, please. The first question I wanted to ask was already asked regarding payment. Please, I would like to know for...
Hello, Obina, can you speak up? It's like you're far away from your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's much better.
Okay. So I want to ask from the other cohorts that you guys have conducted, I want to know if there are firms and companies in Nigeria that are in need of this skill set.
Oh, interesting. So there are a lot of companies that are interested in data analysts. Yeah, there are companies that are interested in all of this. Like I said, this is a global talent, or these are global programs, global career paths. Yeah, there is one of our past students just recently. He applied for a job in a company, and eventually they offered him the role of the CEO. Apparently, he didn't know he had so much in him, but with our mentorship session, our mentorship session, our career review and all of that, he was able to, he had more confidence. I wish I could find the link to his testimonial. Yeah, so there are companies here in Nigeria that are actually looking for talent that have they are looking for talents that are data analysts. There are data analysts in Nigeria, of course. There are data scientists, data engineers. There are people, the major companies that like the likes of the Flutterwaves, the Paystack and the likes. They have data analysts, they have data engineers, they have data scientists on their team. So there are companies, there are lots of companies that there's no company that doesn't manage data on a daily basis. So trust me, there are companies here in Nigeria, in Africa, that are looking for this talent. So it's not a Western thing, or it's not something that is foreign to us here. Yeah. I don't know if I'm able to answer your question, Obina. Okay. Obina, you're still on mute, but I hope I'm able to answer your question. Let me go to Emeka.
Hi, Olawale.
I've asked you to unmute. Okay, sorry, yeah. There is one Emeka on the call, so.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Yeah.
All right, good evening, sir.
Yeah, so I mean, this webinar is very, I'm glad you guys are doing it, and you know, it's very interesting because what you've done is you've explained to us, you know, because some of us, we know these tech programs, but we may not know exactly what they entail. So you've, you know, I think Chukwuemeka went as far as explaining what each of them does, you know. And so my question is actually about the program. So like it's going to be like, is it every day or is it on weekends? You know, like what is the you know, the structure for the classes? Okay.
Okay. Okay.
As that, yeah.
Is that all? Sorry. Or do you
Yes,
have more
that's it.
questions? Okay.
No,
All
no,
right.
no.
So the classes are weekends, yeah, because we understand most of our students are people who are already on a job, moving into a new job, yeah. So we don't let it disturb whatever it is you have to do during the week. So the classes are weekends, Saturdays, and then on Sundays we send you videos that you watch preparing you for the next weekend. So on a Saturday we have 2 classes, morning class and then evening classes. Yeah, you can join whichever one. Yeah, but we advise you to stick to one, meaning if you join the morning class, go through the morning class because there you start meeting your students, forming groups and all of that till the end of the program. And if you join the evening class, but we split those because we split the class to morning and evening for people who are in North America and then people who are in Europe and then Africa. Yeah, so the classes are 3 hours classes where you have a facilitator like I am here that is going to share their screen while you're on your screen also, and then do whatever it is they need to do, teach you what they need to teach you for 3 hours. Yeah, you can always ask questions like you just did now in that class. Then the recording for that class, for people who are unable to attend class or maybe distracted by one reason or the other, the recording for that class, they get it sent to them along with another video. We call them Watch Me Do It video. Yeah, that Watch Me Do It video prepares you for the next week class. So that is how it is actually structured. Weekend classes, 3 hours per class, then videos to prepare you. Then during the week, we now have drop-in sessions. These drop-in sessions for people who do not understand anything in class, or people who are not, you know, people learn faster than each other. If you're unable to catch up quickly in class, the videos that you watch, you couldn't understand a thing or two. Then these drop-in sessions, you can now ask questions from your co-students who will be there, facilitators will be there, coordinators, course coordinators will be there, like 1 hour, 2 hours, once in a week or twice in a week, depending on how you agree with your teammates. Then you have that drop-in session. So that way you are up to speed before the next class. So that way we're able to bring everybody along, fast learners, slow learners, everybody is at the same pace that way. I don't know if that answers your question, Emeka. All right. I'll go to the next person here. I think I have Nenji Jaja. I'll ask you to unmute now.
Hi, Alawale.
Hello, Chukwuemeka.
Yeah, please, can you make my second device a co-host, please?
Okay.
All right. While you're doing that, I think our next person we have on the queue is Obina. Obina, I've taken your question. So Nengi. Obina, do you still have another question? All right, Nengi, you have the floor, please. Hi, Nengi. All right, I'm going to ask you to unmute now. All right. All right, I've asked you to unmute, Nengi, so you have the floor.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you clear.
Okay, I just want to confirm if for the business analysis training, what you're going to take us through, will it be enough for a person to maybe after the training now sit for the ECBA exam if they chose to, certification exam?
Sorry, I didn't hear that clearly. Then can you come again, please?
For the business analysis course, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
For the business analysis course, is the curriculum or what you're going to take us through, will it be enough for a person that wants to say take the ECBA exam after? Will it be enough? Like, can we take your course and then write the exam, or that's like a separate preparation that we may need to find out about?
All right. So, okay, Laura, do you want to take that?
Yes. Nengi, so the idea for Tenalytics here is, like, if you came early when Chukwemeka was mentioning, we value competence over credentials. Yeah. And the tech ecosystem is fast growing such that one exam or one certification you don't stop there. Yeah. So our focus and our mission is help people transition into tech and get jobs. Yeah, our courses are carefully selected to prepare you to be able to do a job. Yeah, so in terms of doing an exam, of course, whatever it is you've been learning will make you grounded enough. If you're grounded enough to get a job, then you should be grounded enough to write an exam. Yeah, but then if there is anything that you'll be needed in your exams that's not covered in our training, you can of course learn that elsewhere. But what we are training you for is to be able to get a job, not exactly to write an exam. I don't know if I'm able to put some clarity into that.
Yes, that's clear. So just based on what you've said, I just want to confirm that, okay, people that have taken this course, because I know, IIBA does the certifications, have not had a problem with getting jobs, say because maybe the employers asked for a certification or the other. So I want to confirm that hasn't been an issue.
No. It's
right.
not. It's
Nikki,
never an issue. I don't think. Sorry, Chukwemeka, let me just go. So I don't think in the tech ecosystem anybody has been employed based off certification, or HR managers would ask you what certifications. So that's why for some for some roles in tech, they don't care if you have a bachelor's degree or the likes. The question is, can you do the job? Can you get the work done? Yeah, so it's more like a project-based industry than a certificate-based industry. So I don't think as a business analyst, if you have built your portfolio, you can use the basic tools that you need for your daily job. I don't think someone would push you out because you do not have a certification. While on the job, if you think you need the certification for one reason or the other, then sure, you can do that. But in most cases, nobody would ask you for a certification or pick someone over you because of certification. It's more of the value you can add, what you can do. I think that's the most important thing. But that should be the main focus. Chukwemeka, I don't know if you want to add to that.
No, I think you've pretty much touched on what I wanted to touch, because basically the tech ecosystem is built with a structure of competence over certification, right? So, and what we always advise our students to do, get the competence and the skill first, get into the jobs first, and then you can now push further studies, right? So if you want to get certifications like ECBA, which is basically an entry level for business analysis, right? And entry level business analysis, just address certifications. I'm then going to say, oh, Nengi, we're going to give you this because you have ECB, right? You still have that skill assessment level. We will assess you based on, okay, as a business analyst, can you do process mapping? As a business analyst, do you understand elicitation? As a business analyst, recruiters are going to look out for, right? Then on the job, for you to now gain further growth and for you to now, continue improving yourself, that's where certifications now come in. So you don't tend to put the cart before the horse. That's you, getting certification before getting the skill, right? So you get the skill, you get on the job, and then you apply for further growth. That's where certifications come in. So I don't know whether that answered your question, Nengi.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for that. So I've seen in the chat box a couple of people have challenge with payments. So basically, I'm going to walk us through how you can easily make payments, right? So once you click on the main stack link that is in the chat box, it's going to bring you to this exact page, right? And when you scroll down, you're going to see initial and full payments. So for Scrum, data analytics, business analysis, full stack data science, financial analytics, and HR analytics, you can easily click on this initial full payment to make the 450,000 Naira complete payment, right? So I'm going to use data analytics, for example. So once you click on it, it's going to bring you to this exact page that is loading right now. So once it's loaded, what I advise you to do is change the payments from here, because I'm in Nigeria, I'm seeing NGN, right? So depending on your location, you are going to see the applicable currency for that exact location that you're currently at. So because I'm Nigeria, I'm going to see this and I'm going to put the 450,000 and I will reserve a seat. So this is applicable to all courses, excluding cybersecurity and data engineering, right? So once you get to this exact level, you put your name, you put your address, and you proceed. And it's just easy peasy from there, right? So let's assume I put my name. Okay, my system is scanning because I'm cybersecurity conscious, right? So it's going to scan to make sure that the analytics is not trying to, take my data. So that's part of things that we train everybody on. I'm going to put my email and then change the flag to the current location that I'm in, and that will be Nigeria. And then put my Nigerian number. So once I do this and proceed, I'm going to get to the spot where I'll be asked to make payments within any of the means that is there. So basically, it's easy peasy. Once you click on that link, you're going to see all the available options there. So if I want to make payment with card, I easily put my card and do. If I want to make payment with transfer, I can easily use transfer, and then it's already generating bank for me to make transfer to, right? So it's quite easy from there. So for everyone that is having challenge making payments, I believe this will solve it. So once you've made the payment, you go back to the initial stage and then click on the option of uploading your payment receipt, right? So once you upload your payment receipt, we are going to take it up from there. So for people that's basically for cybersecurity and data engineering, don't make use of the initial and full payment, right? So the option that you are going to use to make your payment is also, once you are on that main stack link, once you clicked on it, so you scroll down and come down to the option of balance payment, right? And click on the same main stack balance link. So from here, you also get to that same drop down that we had initially, where you now be able to put the 450,000 Naira option to reserve your seats. If you click on the initial one, you will not be able to put 450,000. That's if you click on the full payment option for cybersecurity and data engineering, you will not be able to put that 450,000. So you are going to use the option of balance payment. I don't know whether that's clear. So for you to do this also, once you put the 450,000 Naira option, you click on the reserve a seat option, and it's going to take you to this same option. You put your name, put your email, and then your phone number. Easy peasy, and it will take you to the option to make the payment. So once you are done making payments, it's going to, you go back to that same main stack link, and click on the option of upload your receipt here. Click on the option to upload your receipt here. So once you click on the upload my receipt, you are going to see also where you drop and fill all these requirements, right? Put your email, type of payment, how did you make your payment, and then next, right? And once you fill all these things up, someone is going to reach out to you. So I don't know whether that answers question on all the payment issues that we are currently having. All right. We still have a couple of hands raised, Nengi and Osta. I don't know whether these are the old hands or the new ones. If that's it, Nengi have asked you to unmute again, and Osta have asked you to unmute. All right. But if you also have questions and you're still on the call, please use the raise hand icon, and we are going to, ask you to unmute.
Yeah, so Isosita here. Good evening. Can you hear me now, Chukwemeka?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, great. Sorry, I had already made a payment to the Wema Bank just before you started demonstrating how this will be done. So I don't know whether that counts.
To the Wema
I hope
Bank.
it does.
Okay. So
because I was having issues before, and someone reached out to me telling me I can do on the Wema Bank account,
all right.
which I had already done.
All right, that's perfect. So I guess we'll reach out to you so that we can clarify it from that area. All right. The person that reaches out to you is going to continue the discussion, but that's no big issues. All right. So thank you for that. Nengi, your hand is still up. Okay, Nengi has dropped her hand. So Grace, I can see that you're raising your hand in the chat box. I'm going to try and look for you, so that I'll ask you to unmute. Grace iPhone. Okay, I think I've seen you. Hi, Grace, you have the floor. I've asked you to unmute. Hi, Grace, are you there?
Hello, this is Grace speaking. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
I'm in the Netherlands, and I want to change careers into cybersecurity, but you don't have PayPal to pay, and here our payment is restrictions. It's either we do Western Union, PayPal, and things like that.
All right. You have the Paystack option, which should be sufficient for the PayPal, right? So on that same main stack, okay, let me walk you through that. All right, let me walk you through that shortly, or rather, please drop your email so that someone from our own end can also reach out to you. Okay.
Okay. So I put my email on the
chat box. Yeah.
Has sent me a mail earlier. So
okay. All right. So we can continue the discussion from there. But just drop your own email so that I can take note of that to make sure that we reach out to you. All right. Okay. Thank you for that, Grace. Do we have another question from anyone? So if you have question, please just use the raise hand icon. Okay. Oluwakemi, I'm going to look for you. So there's the raise hand icon that we can use to raise hand easily rather than using the chat box. Oluwakemi, I'm looking for you so that I'll ask you to unmute. All right, I've asked you to unmute Oluwakemi.
Hello, good evening. This is Oluwakemi.
Good evening.
So
all right, Oluwakemi.
I asked my question on the chat box earlier, but I think you missed it. The question is, okay, what if I want to learn 2 skills? Can I still benefit from the International Women's Day?
Fantastic call, Oluwakemi. So that's a great question, but you see, it is possible, right? But it's because of the conflict of the class times, right? Because these things run concurrently. On Saturdays and Sundays, classes are going on for business analysis, classes are going on for data analysis, classes are going on for cybersecurity. So it will be humanly, I don't know whether you're a superwoman, but it will be very, very, very hard for you to be able to learn 2 of them hand in hand, right? Because most of them runs for 2 months, 3 months. So you'd have to finish one before you switch to the other, right? So the best option you have is to learn one and then come back and learn the other if you desire to still upskill with regards to that. But it will be very hard for you to run the 2 programs hand in hand, right? But if you are superwoman and you think you can do it, come on. But it's practically impossible for you to achieve both of them. All right. Hi, Oluwakemi, do you hear me? Did you get that? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I think possibly we lost Oluwakemi there. I think I still have a hand raised. Hi, Kenneth. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Kenneth, you have the floor, please.
Yeah, thank you, Emeka. Okay, sorry. Yeah, thank you, Emeka, for this wonderful discussion. I've been very, very satisfied with the mode of delivery and all the expository that you guys have done. And like as the first participant asked, yes, the payment option has been clarified, but I wanted to know for someone that wants to do the data science with you guys, please, what specification of laptop is required? That's just my question. Thank you.
All right, fantastic one, Kenneth. So basically, for laptops, I'll recommend just anything above 4 gig RAM, right, and then 250 gigabytes should be able to is sufficient to run most of the programs that we have. Anything above, but if you can, 8 gig RAM is better and above respect to gigabyte, but nothing less than 4 gigabytes. All right, so that it can easily flow for you. Okay, but any modern PC that you have these days should be sufficient to run most of our classes for data science. All right. Kenneth, did you get that? Hi, Kenneth, did you hear me? Okay, I don't know. Olawale, if you're on the call, please confirm if you can still hear me.
Yes, loud and clear.
All right, thank you for that. So guys, if you have questions, please use the raise hand icon. We are here for you so that we can clarify any misconceptions that you have or any question you have regarding our courses. We are here to take those questions so that we can help you transition from your current role to the tech role that you desire. Okay, and remember, this International Women's Day scholarship, it doesn't run forever. It doesn't run forever. It's once the 300 women is secured and 50 men is secured, it's over. And the truth is, last year that we had this program, after the first session, I think a couple of days after, the entire slots were filled up. So please make sure that you take advantage for being on the first session that we displayed this exact scholarship. So guys, make sure that you take this. Hi, certainly, I have a question actually. Yeah, certainly, I think I've seen a couple of questions from the chat box. So I'm going to ask you to unmute. Okay, I don't know, Kenneth, Oster, Grace, your hands are still raised. Do you still have another question? Hi, Kenneth, I've asked you to unmute. Hi, Oster.
All right, yes,
okay,
I heard your response the other time, but I was just muted, right? Okay, so the second question I wanted to ask is this. The program runs for 3 months, right? And then 1 month internship. Now, the internship, is it virtual or someone will be assigned to a given company and you have to go there physically and then get the internship done? So I also wanted to know the mode of the internship. Is it also online and virtual? Thank you.
All right, thank you for that question, Kenneth. So our internship is virtual internship, right? So you are, I don't know the course you decided to go through with. Can you remind me the course, the program that you are interested in taking? Hi, Kenneth. Okay. But basically, depending on any of our program, they are all virtual, right? They are all virtual. How it runs is that you are after your classes, your program, you are going to have a capstone project, which once you complete it, we will move you to the internship side of the business, right? Where they are going to help you first teach you how to build portfolios, right? So that you can now accumulate all the projects you built from the initial stage and build a portfolio first. And then you also be given projects to work in that internship program that you also add to that initial portfolio that you have built. So this is basically to help you have experience of real life case scenarios of how all these things plays out. In some instance, we have projects that encompasses several other departments, right? Maybe you're a business analyst, you're working with people from Scrum, you're working with people from software, from a developer. Also, for you to have the experience of what it feels like to work on real projects in the world. So I don't know whether that answers your question, Kenneth, but they are all fully virtual internships. All right. Oster, your hand is still raised. I'm going to ask you to unmute. You have the floor, Oster.
Yeah.
Hi, Oster.
I think,
okay.
yes. I think I've asked something similar, but this is more like expanding it. First off, before I ask my question, some of us might not really understand, even after your presentation, which aspect of the IT that we want to transition into, right? So will there be an avenue after this presentation that one can reach out to any member of staff to probably have like a one-on-one to take the person through, and then the person will really understand what they want to do? That's number one. Then number two, for people like us that don't want to Japa, right? What's the percentage of people that have gone through your program that have gotten remote jobs from Nigeria in the abroad? Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that, Oster. So I'm going to take the first question where you said maybe you're not yet sure of the career path you want to transition into. So on the that same payment link option that I initially displayed, once you've made payment on the main Stack link, right, and you are trying to put your receipts. So at the point of putting your receipts, you'll be asked which program do you want to be in. There's an option to select that you want to speak with in-house people, right? That means you are not yet sure of the program you want to join. So just select that option. I want to speak with in-house guys. We have what we call clarity sessions every Tuesday by 2 p.m. West African time and 11 p.m. West African time, where we clarify people that do not know the areas they want to transition into. We help them to understand based on the initial experiences that they have, or based on their motivators and things that they want to become. For example, someone that ran a business in Nigeria and is thinking of transitioning into data analytics, thinking of transitioning into tech, we'll look at, okay, what's your history like? So from it, we'll now be able to advise you on the career path that we think will be beneficial to you. So just after making payments on the receipts option, or the option of dropping your receipts, select I want to speak with professionals, and then we'll take it up from there. Then your second question on the people, how people get jobs, whether they're in Nigeria or whether they're remote and all. The truth is that some of the people that we have their success stories here, they are not actually outside. Some of them are in Nigeria, right? And they were able to secure these jobs while in Nigeria. So the data may not really be clear to say, okay, we'll have 60% of our past students securing jobs while they are in Nigeria. They are all scattered. Some people are in Poland, some are in Netherlands, some are in UK, and they get jobs. Some are in Nigeria as well, and they are all able to also get these remote jobs and also be able to work for companies here in Nigeria, right? So the data might not really be clean because people are not really very open to, okay, I've moved outside Nigeria, I'm there, I'm here, but they are all getting these jobs. So I don't know whether that clarifies your misconception a little bit, Osita. Hi, Osta, are you there? Okay. Yeah, Olawale.
So I think someone on the call, Confidence, she has had her hand up for a while, or she's been putting it in the chat.
Okay.
So I want to ask her to unmute now, and if she can ask her question.
All right, that's fine. You can ask her to unmute. Then after her, we'll take Grace Eke. I don't know whether that is the initial Grace that was spoken. So Confidence, you have the floor. Ask you to unmute, please.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. In a case whereby you want to invite someone, how do I share the form to the person?
All right, so Confidence, have you filled your name in the attendance form that was initially circulated?
Yes, I have.
All right, because you will get the recording of this session and also this slide. So once you get this slide, you can easily share the payment option, which is here, to anyone to make payments. That's this Paystack link that I'm currently hovering over. I don't know whether you can see that. So my colleague, Elijah, will drop the attendance form also for you to be able to fill. So that after this call, you will get the slide and the recording so that you can also share with your family members and village people, right? Because the more we help our village people, the more they also leave us alone and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's on a later note, right? But you get the slide after the session.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I think
can you please unmute Osita also?
Okay. Hi, Osta. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Osta has been speaking for a while. Osta, I've asked you to unmute again.
No, but I tried to speak the last time, but I think you muted me. Yes, I'm speaking for a while because this is very dear to my heart. You don't understand how long I've been trying to get into this. I think I did mention I was just about paying for a course, just yesterday on Coursera. So yes, so when I found this and having listened to the presentation, I think it actually meets my requirements, right? So my needs, as it were. So that's why I want to kind of express myself and kind of understand more. So I think the last question, maybe I will probably get clarity when I probably speak to a specialist. I have already made my payment, but I think I made a mistake. I didn't click on all these things you were saying, like speak to a professional. So I hope I'll get a chance to speak to someone on Tuesday. In my head, I think I want to do data science, but from your explanation, when you speak to the specialist, they will understand from what you're doing before and see what is best for you. So I would like that as well. That's
all right.
just
so don't mute yourself yet, Osta. Have you uploaded your receipt of payment?
Yes, I have.
How are you?
Okay, to the last, you should to the last end.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I have.
Who's speaking?
Hello.
Yes. Osita, so once you fill that form, Chukwemeka is still speaking.
I think Chukwemeka's internet must be having some problems.
Yeah. Okay, so you'll be invited to that clarity session on Tuesday, yes? So
okay.
we have one at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And if you're able to make that, there's another one at 11 p.m. Yeah, so in that clarity session, would clear anything you need to ask in terms of would learn more about you, what your career has been in, what your career path has been in the past, and help you transition and basically choose, not literally choose, but present you with more clarity on the courses that are available. And that way you can follow your passion.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Olawale. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I think we've answered questions from everyone here that has their hands raised. Obina has spoken, Grace, Cynthia. So you might want to drop the hand. Or if you want to ask more questions, you can just let me know in the chat so I can unmute you. But I believe we've answered questions from. Okay, Grace has spoken, yes. Okay, let me just drop your hand.
I don't think Cynthia has spoken. And Grace also have not spoken. Yeah, I think this is a new Grace. So we can ask, okay, Grace, ask you to unmute.
Okay. Okay, Grace, you can speak.
Hello. Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Very well.
Okay, thank you so much. My question is do you have any package for maybe persons that probably have some knowledge on a particular area before, say maybe cybersecurity, for instance, somebody that have done maybe 1 or 2 trainings and looking forward for a sort of maybe mentorship, internship, or what have you? Do you have packages for people in that category?
Okay, let me take that, Olawale. Grace, at the moment we do not, and why we sort of are not playing in that field is because we provide our students to recruiters to take, right? And these are people that we can confidently beat our chest for and say, these guys are good, because we train them from the zero ground to the expert level. right? So what I always advise people to do in this situation is to try and use it as a refresher program for themselves. For example, if you have little knowledge in cybersecurity initially, possibly in the aspect of introduction to cybersecurity, I'm sure once you start our own program, there are some areas that you also get to pick up some things, maybe in the aspect of introduction to information security, where you look at the ISO standards and the NDPR and GDPR aspect of it, right? So it's very important for us to make sure that we teach our students from ground zero to any ground you can think of, right? So that we can confidently vouch for them in the front of recruiters. But if you bring people externally and they say, oh, and this is something that I've done in the past, where people say, oh, I have this knowledge, right? But then when they come into the program, we realize that they do not actually have the knowledge like the way we envisage that they will have it. So at the moment, our programs are all together, which is starting everybody from ground zero and pushing everybody to that expert level. So I don't know whether that answers your question, Grace.
Yes, it does. Yeah,
All
thank
right.
you.
All right, thank you for that, Grace. So Cynthia, I've asked you to unmute so that I can take you quickly as well. Hi, Cynthia, are you there? All right, while we are waiting for Cynthia, Zina, I've asked you to unmute so that we can take you as well. Hi, Zina.
Hi. Yeah, I was since I work Saturdays, I was wondering if like, you know, what time is exactly the sessions in Saturdays, because probably I need to get off, you know, for the sessions. And another question was, I was wondering if you can provide any resource that I can start already, you know, study before the actual program start, you know. Just be prepared.
All right, thank you for that, Zina. So Zina, have you selected the exact program you want to be in?
Well, to be honest, I'm thinking about cybersecurity and data engineering, one of these ones.
All right, thank you for that. Why I asked because some of our programs have different timings, but for most of the programs, they all run 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time and 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time, right? Why we have the morning and evening times are because we have students in North America, Canada, so they tend to take the normal 6 p.m. West African time. But for our students in UK and for people that are also in Germany and the likes of it, they tend to take the morning classes. So basically, our classes are 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time and 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time on Saturdays. Then for classes that run on Sundays, which cybersecurity is also part of, they run between 11 a.m. to 2, on Sundays, they run between 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time on Sunday. So I don't know that that's clear for you. I don't know the country you're calling from so that we can try to convert it to your own.
I'm from US, America.
Okay, so basically the evening session will be more beneficial to you. That's the 6 p.m. West African time to 9 p.m. West African time, which should be like -8. That should be around 11 a.m. your own time on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got you. And what if I miss a session, you know?
All right, fantastic. So we have you, because we have this in mind, because sometimes our students miss classes. So the classes are structured in a way that it's live classes and it's also recorded, right? So you have lifetime access to the Google Classroom, where you can always go back and watch the recordings of the class, right? So, and what we do is that because we have people that also track attendance, at the point that you've missed a class, somebody is going to reach out consistently to you to make sure that you've watched the previous recording so they can come back to class for the next session, right? So all this is already taken into consideration while building all these packages for you. So even if you miss a class, we have the recording, which you can also watch at any time, okay?
Gotcha. Yeah.
All
And
right.
well, I'm gonna do the payment, but if I change my mind, I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm still not sure about the data engineering or cybersecurity. What if I change my mind before the obviously the classes start?
Zina, are you there? I can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me right now?
Hi, Olawale, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Zina. Well, I think Emeka has issues with his network. So you're saying you could change your mind from either cybersecurity or data engineering before the cohort starts, right?
Correct.
So the thing is, whichever one you decide to go with, before the cohort starts, yes, we can help you switch. But then we have a clarity session on Tuesday. Once you've made payment, you can attend the clarity session. There you can ask a professional again, talk about your career background, and then there we can help you lay out both career paths, and then you can actually make that decision at that point.
Nice. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
All right. So also, Zina, are you there?
Yeah.
You mentioned that you had issues paying with PayPal.
No, I can pay with PayPal, but there was no option to pay with PayPal. I tried to pay with my, credit card, but every time that I tried this line, I'm not with your website, but I had this issue with my bank account somehow. I don't know. Every time that I try to pay like bigger amount, something, I had issue, and I was wondering if I can pay with PayPal because it's always easier for me to do this stuff with PayPal.
Okay, have you been able to do that now?
Sorry?
Have you been able to make the payment now?
No.
Okay, all right. So I have your email, and I would have someone reach out to you to help you through the process.
Yeah, I can do the payment today if, just find a way to pay. Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll see you in class.
Have a good one.
All right. I don't know if we still have Grace. Okay, Grace, please share your email with me, and I'll have someone reach out to you to help you through the payment process easily. I'm going to send you a message now, so just respond to that message. Okay, someone has already reached out to you. Setinelli, the time for UK. So the classes, Chukwemeka, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here. Lawale.
Okay, all right. So Setinelli was asking to repeat again the time for classes for UK time.
All right. So basically on Saturdays, our classes are 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, and 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. Then on Sundays, we have only one sessions that are run from 2 p.m. West African time to 5 p.m. West African time. All right. So certainly, I've asked you to unmute. I don't know whether that answered your question. I can also see that you've asked a couple of questions in the chat box for now.
Can you convert in UK time, please?
That's just -1. So basically, it should be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. UK time.
Oh,
and then from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. UK time.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. So you also asked a couple of questions in the chat box, like the age problem and whether you did a degree to transition. I don't know whether we've cleared you on that.
I have a French accent, so I was thinking if I should choose, for example, what kind of job. I don't want to take a job when I will be like interacting in English for a long time because I have an accent. So I don't want to, I prefer to take like a profile, like, I don't know, data analytics or something. Maybe someone can help me to choose because right now I don't know exactly which way
All
to
right,
go.
thank you for that, certainly. So basically, that, like we've told previous guys that asked the question, you have the option of you speaking to professionals, right? That's when you are filling your receipt of payments. Just select the I want to speak to a professional. So you're going to have a one-on-one with people like me and Olawale, where we get to know your history, and they will now tell you the program that will fit you. Specifically, okay? So once you've made the payment and you're uploading your payment receipts, just select the option of I want to speak to a professional, right? And we'll take it up from there.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you so much, Nelly. I don't know whether we have other question. Any other question from anyone? Do you have to be okay, Grace? I'm sure someone have reached out to you. Please, if you have any question, clarification, just use the raise hand icon. We are here for you so that we get to walk you through what you need to know, and you also get to ask us questions. All right. So any other question from anyone, clarification from anyone? Like I've mentioned before now, most important thing to know is that after sessions like this, the slots are always half filled, right? That it will not be a struggle. So we don't want a situation where you'd tell us, oh, but I was in the first session, right? I was in the second session. Once the slots are filled, the pricing goes back to the normal price. So Mike, your hand is raised. I've asked you to unmute. Hi, Mike, you have the floor. Mike, are you there? Olawale, please confirm if you can hear me.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you, Mike.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the program. I think it's an interesting one. I think I'm in love with the program and I would love to be part of it. Although most of my weekends are occupied, but I think I have to create time, to see what I can do. But my major concern is March 31st is a bit of a challenge to me. So I don't know what can be done for people like us that our salary comes maybe 15th, 16th of the month. I would love to take advantage of the scholarship plan. So I don't know what can be done. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for that question, Mike. So what we can do for you is we are going to send an email to us. So Elijah Olawale, please let someone drop the email so that you can communicate to us how you want to tailor down your own, because this is a specific kind of request, right? So send an email to Elijah or at Tenalytics. Elijah, have you dropped your email? Elijah at tenalytics.o. Elijah. All right, please. Okay, they've dropped the email. Send an email to Elijah, and we are going to get back to you. Just communicate how or what you intend to do, because I understand how it works for salary people, right? So before it comes, some of us have made plans for it, right? So just send an email to it and communicate what you need, and we are going to take it up from there. And for everyone in the same category with Mike, please just send an email to Elijah, and we will take it up from here. All right. Any other question from anyone? I think we've heard from Mike. We've heard from Seti, Nelly, Chide, Clara, Ayodeji, Cynthia, DG, Donald Dozier, Edith Young, Elizabeth, Kenneth, please, if you have any question, feel free to raise your hand, and we are going to ask you to unmute. We are gradually approaching the hour mark for closure. So please, now is your time to ask us any question that you have. Okay, I think someone's hand is okay. That's Team Mike. Please, if you have any question, feel free to ask or raise your hand. Feel free to drop the chat so that we can take it up from there. Okay, I think everybody is satisfied. I'm happy whenever we get to this level, right? So please, if you've not made payments, try as much as possible to take this opportunity of International Women's Day celebration to be able to key into tech, right? Like we've all said initially, tech is the new trend. Some of us are transitioning for the salary, for the benefits, for staying, for being able to have work-life balance, flexibility, and heart of innovation, right? Take this opportunity and be able to make use of it very well. So Obinna, your hand is raised. Let's have you before we call it a night.
All right, good evening again. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. Please, I would like to know, how are you going to notify those of us on the group when the spot is filled up so that we'll know exactly what we're doing? I've paid for mine. but I want to like pay for someone else. I'm trying to gather resources here and there to see what I can do. I don't know if you're going to
Okay,
tell us
so
when this process, so we know exactly what we're
also,
doing.
yeah, so Obina, it will be hard to notify everyone that because people try to make payments from the website, from the social media, from the link and all. So what will happen most time is that once it's filled, once you want to make that payment, it will not you will not be able to. So what our advice is that once you are trying to make the payment and it's going through, that means the slot is still open. Okay, so just always try, and once it's going through, the option is open. But if you're not able to change the payment option to 450, that means the slots are filled, right? So just always open the link. If you want to make payments for, maybe you want to sponsor the youths in your village, you know, it's this celebration period, and you want to make it maybe in the Easter period or thereabouts, depending on your own celebration. Just at that point, try to make the option of changing it to 450,000 naira. And once you are able to, that means the slot is still open because it's a website, okay? It's already designed and it's automated. All right. Thank you for that question, Obina. I don't know whether we still have questions from anyone. Please, if you have any question, you have the next few minutes to raise your hand or to drop it on the chat box before we call it a day from here. Hi, okay, Zina has spoken. Hi, Victor. Hi, Stella. Hi, Patience. Hi, Oyindamola. Hi, Olayemi, Olainto. Mike, okay, Mike has spoken. Latifa, Larry, Kenneth has spoken. Grace, Elizabeth, Dozier, Donna, DG, Edith Young, Sitia, Clara, Chedi, Big Mark, and Ayodeji. Now is your time to ask questions before we call it a day. All right, but if you're on this call and you do not fill the attendance form, please do well to fill it so that after this call, you can get the recording of this session and also get the slides that we use for this session. All right. So I don't know. Nobody's raising their hand. Nobody's asking question. So Olawale, I don't know whether I have a couple of things to say before we round up from here.
Okay. Just one final word is please take advantage of the International Women's Day Scholarship. Like I said, the scholarship is supposed to launch on Tuesday officially on the website. So people that are on this call are just fortunate to get to be in the know quickly. So once we launch officially on Tuesday, it's going to run for the rest. You start seeing ads around it on our social media, on our website. So if you're on this call and you don't make quick payments, if we roll out and people start making payment, then you might miss out on the scholarship. So take advantage quickly and make your payment. Someone raised their hand. I don't know if you want to take that.
Wow. Okay, Ayodeji, I think let's take that before maybe we'll now round off. Hi, Ayo, you have the floor.
Hi. Good evening. Well done, guys. So quick one. Although I'm just having doubts. So the sections, we have 3 sections, 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. So these sections, are they all the same classes, or they are all like different classes? Is it the same content within those 3 sections? I mean, in case we miss the morning one, can we still like meet up with the
Okay.
class?
All right. So they are not basically the same content, and you may not be able to move from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., right? So once you are registering, you are choosing whether you want to be in the morning session or in the evening session, right? So that because we have classrooms that everyone has access to that classroom where we will upload the slide, upload the recordings, upload all the materials that they need. So for us to be able to maintain control and order, that's why we put people in the classroom that they want to be. So if you want to morning session, we'll put you there. If you want evening session, we put you there, right? And basically, once you miss any class, you have the option of going to watch your recordings, right? So that's the option that you have. Possibly you missed a class today. The recording of that classes will be uploaded to your Google Classroom, where you can always go back to watch the recordings before the next session. So I don't know whether that answers your question, Ayodeji. Okay. think you've muted, but I believe, okay, it answers it. Yes, thank you. All right, the absence of any other question. Thank you so much, guys, for being with us from 8 p.m. West African time to nearly 11 p.m. West African time. Oh, please, can you explain the women's scholarship stuff? Thank you. All right, Stella, thank you for joining us, right? So basically, the scholarship program, we've slashed our pricing by half. That's the summary of it, right? We've slashed most of our pricing by half, right? Before now, our courses are 900,000 and above, but now most of them run for at least as small as 450,000 naira. So that's what the scholarship is all about, right? So we'll have programs in data analytics, data scientists, HR analytics, financial analytics, Scrum, business analytics, cybersecurity, data engineering, right? We teach all these 8 courses, and we've given scholarship to 300 women and 50 men in this International Women's Day celebration. So the opportunity there for you now is to key in to be able to be part of these 300 women that we get this scholarship, and also 50 men that will also get it. So immediately this is over, our prices reverse back to the 900,000 naira that it is. So I don't know whether that explained it for you, Stella, but what I can do for you is also try and fill the attendance form so that you will get to recording of this session and also get the slide for this session so that I can watch it end to end and be able to, follow through. All right, thank you. So guys, this is 11 p.m. Thank you so much for being with us. Like Olawale mentioned initially, this program is going to be launched officially on Tuesday on our website. And once it goes live, the slots are easily filled, right? But by virtue of you being on this call, try and take advantage of it and be able to be part of these women that will be celebrating this exact year. Thank you so much, everyone. And I believe this is where we'll call it a night. Please do have a wonderful day ahead or a wonderful night ahead, depending on where you're joining us from. Good night, guys, and have a nice day.